Right, we should. I just jumped onto another ingest server. That's weird. It looks like I just caught it in time, so we might have picked it up before it actually hit any of you fine folks. Literally just started dropping frames left, right, and centre. I have a feeling that it seems to be around this time, anywhere between 10 and 12, doesn't it, on the European ingest servers? I'm convinced they're doing work on it. If anybody wouldn't mind, just can anybody just shout out in Thrash, just shout out in chat and just ask people to refresh. I'd be very much very appreciative. Just explain we are back and just hit the refresh button, because obviously I know a lot of people will be watching and lurking, so they might not know what's happened. Right, so we're going to travel up back around there. I'm glad I spotted that, actually, because I hate the thought of sometimes having had a stream that's, you know, we work really diligently on this channel, don't we, to try and keep things as, well, not professional, not in terms of the knobber that streams, but the actual sound quality and the picture quality and the game quality. We try and we do work hard. Well, let's put it this way: I put a lot of hours. I do a lot of testing, even with 7 days when I stream this game for 5,000 plus odd hours. But it's even now, I doubt a day goes by that I don't come up with some little tweak or something that I want to try, whether it be a reshade or an OBS setting. Oh, that feels so good. That just feels so good playing like that. You can't loot the arrows, can you? I really wish they'd sort that out. I don't even know if it's possible. I imagine that's quite hard coded, isn't it? Right, so yeah, we should be back. Due to drop frames, please. Thank you to Lawyer. Cheers, bro. Thank you. You had little skips, but nothing. Wookie rest in peace stream. Yeah, you can't watch our 480 Grum. It's not dropping for me. Yeah, I think to be honest, mate, I think I caught the flurry of drop frames, possibly before it hit the outbound. I don't know. We just had a massive packet of drop frames, like a big chunk, which is normally indicative of the ingest server having suddenly had some sort of panic attack of some sort. I don't know. I think they're upgrading something over there. I'm trying to think. I can't remember what I just switched from and which I switched to. I think we're now on the... is it the Frankfurt one? The pool show up on the map. They used to, Shades, and as far as I remember, they were in my vanilla Alpha 17 solo playthrough. So yeah, mate. Absolutely. Thank you for the bits, Bob. How are you doing, bro? Thank you very much for the bits. I'm just, yeah, I'm just, the reason I noticed it, because we've got the little bit boss thing and everything suddenly pop back up. Has there been a bloody update for the Stream Deck that I don't know about? I didn't even spot that. How the hell I didn't spot that, I'll never know. we'll leave it for a little bit. Actually, I think I will leave it, because it's got Captain Chaos's name up in lights, look. Captain Chaos, look, take a screenshot, mate. Show your mom. Beautiful. Thank you, Bob. How you doing, bro? If your stream has stopped, it's because Grum's banned your ass. You've been deemed not worthy, and we've banned your ass. That's why you can't hear anything. Cheers, Wookie. Yeah, brilliant, mate. Alright, so let's go and grab... There's definitely nothing else that I left lying around, so let's grab that and that. We'll take the coffee, the yucca, and the bones, just for some shiv work. Well, I haven't said that. Well, I tell you what, let's leave that there, and let's leave that there. We really don't need that, do we? The eggs, I can argue, we probably do need. So, torch, schematic, I can come back for later. Is there anything I really need in there? There's not really, is there? Nails, plastics, the pipes we're going to want for the forge. Paper, maybe. Take the gun. I really like the hunting rifle, but it's not the one you want when you've got a pack of dogs after you, is it? No, your name is in lights. Look, up on the top right-hand corner, Captain Chaos. You are the little potato king. You've been called a few things over the years, mate, but the Potato King's not one of them, right? That's going to be interesting. I'm quite looking forward to doing some POIs with somebody else and see how that plays out. I think I came to the conclusion in the last playthrough that stealth was just never going to happen. Those irradiated ferals, we just lost a whole section of gameplay where stealth was viable. The game stage simply went from reasonable to off the charts in the space of like a week, didn't it? You did see that. You were going to ask, but thought that I've got a load of other windows open today because there's a few things that I want to check out on the server. So I've got some diagnostic stuff on top of the other stuff. So I can only actually see a very small section of the OBS preview. You see, so I can't really see the top part and bottom half of the screen. So I didn't notice. Although, like I said, how I didn't notice is beyond me. There must have been an update for the Stream Deck. It has a nasty habit of toggling everything on. Yeah, I think you're right, but I think you're spot on with that, mate. Yeah, the 12 hours of digging non-stop, which is permanent XP, wasn't it? Yeah. So in 2 months, you're off to Montana. And is that because you're moving yet again as a place of habitation? Or is it a holiday? Bob? Or are you off on your merry, jolly travels to another corner of the globe? Because you've moved around a lot, haven't you? Where have you been? In Hawaii? Las Vegas? Was it Alaska prior to that? And probably places I've forgotten about as well, Bob, to be honest. You're about to brutally murder your family. So you're going to Montana to murder your family. It sounds a little bit reminiscent of Far Cry 5 or something, dude. Although I don't know where Far Cry 5 was set, but have they just pushed you too far, Bob? Alaska, Oregon, Washington, yeah, Hawaii, Las Vegas, yeah. He's a dirty little traveller. Oh my god, you're 4.5 kilometers away, Shades. If you find anywhere that's better than this, Shades, shout out and I'll come to you. I mean, don't feel obliged to come here, mate. If you find a place that looks like, holy wow, you know, this would be a really nice spot, shout out. Now, I don't actually have anywhere to fill up the jars, do I? Oh my god, where's all the jars? Oh, there they are. Yeah, I mean, on a super serious note, let's just do the snow. So let's take the cooking pot. Let's make a campfire. Let me move my coffee out of the way. We had, I'll speak about it just very briefly today. It seems to be an opportune time, seeing as we've just been talking about the quality of the stream and everything. Recently, we've had a few people talking about the loudness of the stream and the clarity, sort of, for example, of the microphone and a few other things. And we had a lot of discussions about that. I've made quite a few changes. Not a single person, not one person has commented. I'm going to assume that that's because we didn't have that many problems, and it may have just been down to people, you know, on that day using that device, or, you know, maybe a bit more background noise than normal. But has anyone just generally noticed anything? I mean, is there anything else I can do to improve, like, the audio for you, apart from not speaking? And obviously that probably isn't really an option, as much as I'm willing to take that on board as, you know, constructive criticism. I thought I'd get that in before, like, the entire chat says, well, the Brummy Nobber could shut up. That'd be a great start. But yeah, I mean, seriously, because I have made, honestly, a ridiculous amount of changes. A huge amount of changes to the audio setup. So, if you haven't noticed anything, then that's fine. You haven't noticed anything. It can only be a good thing. But I'd like to think, for those of you that were having some issues, that maybe things are a little bit crisper, a little bit clearer. I've still got some other major changes to make that I'm not 100% comfortable with myself, but let's get a bit of free wood. Oh gosh, I was going the wrong way. I thought I was going towards the snow biome. Your net is pure poop grub, so it seems top notch to me. What with the so that'd be more the I mean, I to be honest, I've not. I mean, the visuals will always be the same. I mean, obviously we're limited to a certain bit rate. There's very little I can do to improve the picture quality, to be honest. But... Oh, look at this. Speak proper, like, instead of this brummy stuff. You got no idea what a real brummy sounds like if you think this is brummy, right? I could go full on Tommy Shelby if you want. And let's be honest, Tommy Shelby didn't have a particularly strong bloody brummy accent. I think Tom Hardy sounded more brummy than bloody old Thomas Shelby. You like derpy brummy voices in your head. I was going to suggest banning Mojo, but I said... What can we do to improve the channel? Well, we could ban Mojo. No, you can't ban Mojo. Do not ban Mojo. I would take great offence to this. Right, where are we going to set this up? We just need to dig a little diggy hole. As close to base and snow as we can. I mean, here could be alright. I mean, it would be nice to go into that. Yeah, let's set up one here. Clear a little bit of the old brush. Can even sort of make it out like it's part of the house later on, maybe, to sort of actually legit build a water purification facility. I've just reread that. I've just gone back to chat, Bob, and I realised I'd already read yours, but I actually just reread it as I was going to suggest burning Mojo. And his impression of poor Mojo and his new cat burning at the stake, mate. We'll craft. Oh, hang on, cancel that. I've already got one. Didn't realise. Let's drop. So let's put the actual station, say, here. We really can't afford to lose this. So let's just set up. Oh no. Let's not go crazy. We've got other things to worry about right now. So let's get that in there. Get a little bit. Oh gosh, get a little bit of wood in there. Let's pop the cooking pot in. And then let's dig up. So I need a shovel, don't I? Stone shovel. My chop. Chop me old mucker. And we'll kind of start here. Is that a lag spike? There was nothing my end, Quag. So it might. We know Twitch is having a few hiccups today, Quag. It's alright, Wookie. Yeah. Cheers, dude. Cheers. Like I said, I don't. If it's not, just shout out. You right, Miss Grip? How you doing, mate? How's Borderlands treating you? Burn the Mojo. The quality of the stream would drop drastically if I was banned. It just wouldn't be the same, would it, Mojo? It would just be pointless, wouldn't it? Your girlfriend isn't happy about moving to Montana, but she will get over it. Or if she doesn't, I couldn't give an F about it. I don't deal with needy, whiny shit. Oh, Jesus, dude. You're terrible, Bob. I didn't actually know you'd got a girlfriend. I honestly, seriously did. I thought you had, like, just banished women from your lives apart from, you know, a little bit of jiggery pokery, you know, just friends with benefits, mate. I thought you were just, like, one of these, like, hardcore bachelor types, mate, if I was to be honest. I didn't realise you'd even got a lady in your life, mate. It sounds like she's not a permanent feature from what you've just said. But then again, you might have had a whiskey and are just talking a big load of babble. One thing we are confident of is she's not sitting next to you at this particular point in time, right? Right, let's drink. We're going to get some bacon and eggs in a minute. So we'll leave this here. Let's make sure we mark this up on the map, otherwise we will never find it again. Save waypoint, and we'll mark that as water 1. Okay, let's go back to a bit of cheeky digging then. You have, yes. You did set yourself on fire, though, to be honest, Mojo. I mean, admittedly, I was the fire prevention team that day. And didn't do a particularly good job of eradicating the flames from your pubic regions, but... What was that about a shovel level 2, dude? What's that, Ian? She is new. I thought she must be, mate. You've never mentioned her before. I mean, you know, you haven't exactly introduced her to Grumbader in the best way. I think your exact words, needy and whiny. You know, it's well, it could be true love. Maybe you're in denial, sir. You're right, Uncle Oz. How long have I been playing? 7 days. What, today, King, or what do you mean just in general? This account has just dinged 5,000 hours, so quite a lot. Oh gosh, no. Oh, I must take those back. They're not allowed to be over here, otherwise they'll melt. I know they won't, but I can't cheat myself. Just for the purposes of the stream, we'll leave them in the box for now. But we don't play that game. All right, let's carry on digging down here then. So 3x3, is that already 3x3? Doesn't look far off it, does it? That's on a different level, right? We're not quite deep enough. Let's get both shovels out and then we can just tear through them, can't we? Well, I should have... Oh, hang on. Let me get some bacon and eggs. Give me bacon. I think it's quite quiet out here. I quite fancy getting a nice big perimeter wall up. We can maybe try and create a Tony town with a little moat and things. That could be quite nice. Oh, was it Peter who did it? Oh, whatever happened to Peter? How is he, mate? You still play with him? Yeah, thanks. I'm all right, thanks, Oz. What about you, dude? Are you okay? You were half lurking earlier. How on earth did Grum burn his eye? But oh, don't worry about it, mate. It was an accident at work. It was all right, Miss Grum. It wasn't anything too serious. I had to wait a day before that they could properly check it out to see if there's any permanent damage. It's fine, to be honest. It just, well, I say it's fine. It just keeps watering quite viciously. Hang on one sec. And the really annoying thing is, every time I talk about it, for some reason mentally it starts watering. Which is why we don't talk about it. How you doing, Miss Group? Nice to see you again. How's Borderlands? What level and everything are you, mate? Sadie sounds like he's had a couple of hiccups with it, just general sort of performance. He did a lovely review on Discord. But for all intents and purposes, it sounds like he's having a whale of a time with it. He sounds very, very positive in terms of the scope of the content and replayability and all that. You're a master base defense builder, are you, King of War? Well, that's good to hear, mate. You can give us some tips as we move forwards. Off to work, are you, Oz? He plays PUBG. What is that like his go-to game? Is it, Major? Borderlands is broken. Always makes me chuckle. It's normally McGlashan and a few others. He's like, nope, sorry, Borderlands is broken. It's that or Ark is broken these days, isn't it? About 2.5 years. Is that how long it's been? Really? Wow, Smirnoff. And don't forget, that's this account. The other account, I think, has got just over 1,500. That stayed fairly static, though. I use that account very infrequently these days. That was really when I was modding and playing about, testing servers and things, to be honest, dude. So I guess in total about 6,500 hours this guy. I mean, you got to take into account. I mean, a lot of that will have been, well, I'm not saying a lot, but some of it will of course have been AFK, or the game running in the background while I'm modding, for example. I'm trying to think what else. Some of it will be the Steam controller, so it's not necessarily game time. But I'm not the sort of person that leaves it running when I'm not around. I mean, it's not going to have been AFK for 2 days. Do you know what I mean? Let's put it that way. I'd say no more than, I don't know. I mean, I'd be sort of hazarding a really wild guess, but certainly no more than 10% would be AFK, I wouldn't have thought. Not rushing. Yeah, damn right, Miss Group. no reason to rush it. Enjoy it, and hopefully you'll get to reap the rewards of the, you know, the patches and the updates and the performance benefits. I mean, that's the only thing that is really stopping me getting it, to be honest, Miss Grit. Otherwise, I probably would be playing it. I just need to know, especially now I know I've got a 2-week window for. Let's just put that. Is that one too high? I don't mind if it is, actually, thinking about it. So if I take out... Have we got any particular preference to where we put the ladder in terms of where we come out? I don't think it really matters, does it? But... Oh, you jammy git. Look at that. Perfect timing, bro. Wonder if there's a little subconscious something in the back of my head saying I can hear a zombie there. Because I must admit, I just dropped everything to come out then. I do sometimes wonder if, although your brain's not making the connection, it has heard something. And the old 7 days muscle memory kicks in. Sorry, Bob. I don't see any difference between the first two and this one, honestly, Grump. I watched the 6-hour stream last night and fell asleep watching it. Was bored to tears. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, mate. I've never been able to watch Borderlands. It's not... There are games that I like to watch and there are games that I like to play. And there is sometimes an overlap between the two. But I've got to admit, Borderlands has never been one that captures my attention as a viewer, which is why I was really interested in the viewer interaction stuff that they'd added to see if that was a shifted dynamic for that particular game. I find it very busy. It's the same as Warframe did. I find it very hard to watch Warframe. I'm sure I would love Warframe. I really do strongly believe that Warframe would be a really fun game. But I also am acutely aware that watching it, I drift, mate. I'm not really paying attention. I find the screens are so busy in some of these games, mate. And Borderlands, especially if it's multiplayer, I just can't watch it, dude. I went through a phase like that with Diablo, and I loved watching Diablo, mate. I really did like watching Diablo, and then all of a sudden I just stopped being able to really tune in. You know, I'd suddenly find myself opening my browser window or popping on Netflix on another monitor and that kind of thing. I think some games, you know, the adrenaline rush of playing it, the fun of playing it is very much that. It's the act of being in the game, isn't it? Right, now, trapdoor. No, are they called hatches? Hatches? That's not how you spell hatch, bro. Hatchcraft. We'll get this all set up and then hopefully we can even spend tonight down here. We're not particularly deep, so it's a bit risky, but... I bet they must be pretty good then if they've been playing that amount of time then, Mojo, right? What's that? I stabbed myself in the eye with tweezers once. That hurt like a bitch. Waterfall. Sometimes, Miss Grit, you just say something that kills me, mate. I've never thought of you as a person that necessarily curses a great amount, but in that single comment in Twitch chat right there, I can imagine expletives the like of which Roy Chubby Brown would have fucking frowned at, mate. Oh, it's always a pleasure, mate. It is always a pleasure. I've got my eyes watering thinking about it. There's a legendary loot tink you can farm. Guy got a 15 legendary. I've got to wipe my eye. Hang on a sec. I'm just gonna mute out. Give me a sec. Oh, I got the sniffles now. There's a legendary loot tink you can farm. Guy got 15 legendary weapons in 15 minutes. What's a loot tink? What, I don't know what that even means. Is that like a particular type of mob? A loot tink? I think we'll be okay to go down. Do you? Oh, we could maybe, yeah, let's head down into our little hobbit hole. We'll get a little cheeky torch down. Got one there and one there. They should be okay, shouldn't they? And then we're into stone, which is now, so we're into cobblestone production territory.
You fell on the bed once and your finger went up your bum. Just like that. Oh, terrible, mate. Oh, gosh. Just what an amazing thing to happen, Mojo. You watched Asmund Gold crash your server last night and get screwed by Blizzard. What happened, dude? What do you mean? What, did he get a ban or something? Did he get bored and start causing chaos? Borderlands is broken. Warframe is an amazing... I think it's just an amazing game. I mean, to be honest with you, it's one of those games that I've never ever... Well, I should be more honest, I suppose. I have played it, but literally like for a couple of hours at most in total, dude. So I shouldn't say I've never played it, but let's be honest, in a game like Warframe, I think the comment is not being dishonest. It's like you can't judge World of Warcraft in an hour's worth of gameplay, can you? Although some people would argue they could. But yeah, although I've never actually played Warframe for any significant length of time, 2 hours at most, and that's probably been over like 4 sittings. I get the impression that I could get into it. I think I could get into it. And I love reading about it. I love watching YouTube videos about Warframe. I love the community that revolves around Warframe, and for me, I think that's huge. I think if there's a good community that it sits in the periphery of a game, then that almost excites me more than a good game itself. It's the way I felt about 7 days, you know, prior to 1 year ago, when the forums just seemed to fall apart a little bit. It was a kind of you versus them kind of attitude, wasn't it? I think it's a bit better now with 7 days, but there's still a lot of butthurt people, and you know, I agree with them on some topics, I guess. So a loot tink is a small guy carrying a loot bag that, like a loot goblin that drops lots of loot, like the loot guy in Diablo. Yeah, loot goblins. Yeah. Well, they do have this, Bob. There is actually a plugin for this where you can use loyalty points to spawn in air crates, air supply crates, and dog packs and things like that. You're right, Doc. How you doing, mate? How's things? The Warframe is an extremely good game to be a free game, and the cash store is very liberal too. I hear nothing but good things about Warframe. You know, I think people that have got into it love it. Truly do. You know, there's a wonderfully diverse game there, isn't there? So they PvP raided Orgrimmar with about 600 people, and as we know, Blizz are all for Horde. Looks like they teleported half the raid Asmund had to different parts of the world and different layers. He went crazy. Oh my god, dude, I have to watch this back later. If you've got a link, send it me on Discord, Chaos. You're right, UK Ian. You stopped playing 7 days after playing Alpha 17. You do not like this version at all, hoping Alpha 18 is much better. I think there's a fairly comprehensive chunk of the community that would stand by your comment there, Ian. Yeah, we had a long night, unfortunately, last night. Doc, he had a bad one yesterday, mate. But yeah, he's. I'm literally. Oh god, I'm so tired. Just so tired. But yeah, thanks for asking, dude. As well as can be expected right now, mate. So, we've started up a little cheeky server. The what is it? The Alpha 18 game has been delayed, Doc. Well, I shouldn't say delayed, because that implies that it's been delayed, and they never promised anything. They just set approximate targets that they hoped to meet. But is there anything? I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll actually take a bacon and eggs down with us, and let's just very quickly dash over to my water purification factory. Yeah, it's I mean, a lot of us were hoping that this weekend would be the release date for some lucky folks for Alpha 18, but it has now been officially confirmed it's not going to happen anytime before October the 4th. And again, that's not a promise it's going to happen on October the 4th. That's just internally, that's what they're targeting. You know, that's their projected plan for letting it wild. But like anything, you know, they're obviously getting obstacles in their way. There was the memory leak apparently a little while back. I don't know whether that's actually been resolved. We've got TwitchCon, which apparently some of the developers like to attend.
So obviously they don't want to launch on the weekend of TwitchCon, which totally makes sense. I mean, that'd be madness to do that. So yeah, we're, you know, fingers crossed. So I thought the only thing I've never done in Alpha 17 really, Doc, is play multiplayer. So I thought I'd set up a cheeky little server, and we'll see what performance is like, and again, we'll have a full-on litmus test to see what changes Alpha 18 brings, both single player and multiplayer, which I think will set us in good stead. Did you grab the snow from the chat? Oh no, I forgot. No, gosh darn it. As long as I don't use it over here, I don't feel like I'm breaching Grumbodian etiquette, but I'm not sure if that crawler's going to have sensed me, which is going to be a big problem, mate. So I go back out and murder him. Same as last year, we had to wait to December. It's true. Yeah, I've heard people saying exactly the same thing, dude. Yeah, absolutely. At least it's not WoW. Wow. It would have been WoW if, to be honest, if I was saying earlier that I just need to be honest with myself when it comes to World of Warcraft. I can't play the game solo player, so I can't play on stream just doing questing. I just can't do it. I need to be playing. It's an MMO. I have to play with somebody. It doesn't matter what class they are, what level they are. You know, I'll go and backtrack 20 levels if need be to help someone out. I've got to be playing with somebody though. It's an MMO, and I've not out leveled the rest of the guild. I'm not trying to say like, oh my god, hey ho, look at this, you know, wonderful leveling super bonanza. But the reality of the situation is I am a little bit higher than the majority of the guild. So of course I'm struggling to group. And you know, as much as pugs, I'm more than happy to stream in pickup groups like we did the day before. Had a wonderful time. Met some amazing people. Even spoke to some of those people outside of the stream. But I just seem to be in an area where grouping was just a nightmare yesterday. Like people said, though, maybe it was a bum instance. Or layer, should I say. Who knows? Yeah, but you're playing Borderlands, Miss Groot. So a lot of people quite rightly would say the same thing about that. Because, let's be honest, Borderlands actually is broken for the time being. I mean, hopefully they'll fix it, but... I mean, I keep meaning to ask you, actually, Miss Griffin. I was going to ask you if you are playing on the base PlayStation 4, because that is just atrocious. I've never seen a AAA game that has released of that caliber. You know, this is not like this is not a brand new IP. This is an existing franchise, third iteration. To have performance like that on the base PlayStation 4 is appalling. You know, 20 frames per second, stutters all over the place. That is, I can't forgive that. Like I said, if they can fix all those issues, then I'll be quite happy to jump in. You know, it looks like a fun game, but it's all about performance for me. Yeah, I don't know. I said this to a couple of people, Miss Grit. I don't know whether you're just not susceptible. I mean, I've seen like 4 tech reviews of the base PlayStation 4, mate. And to see frame rates dropping down into like the low 20s, I'm sorry, but that's just not acceptable for me, mate. Just not acceptable. You might be one of the lucky ones, Miss Grit. It just doesn't pick up on it, or you've not reached that point in the game where it starts happening. I mean, fingers crossed, you know, it doesn't affect you, but... You know, for professional tech analysis to be saying the same thing, there's clearly something wrong. Something horribly wrong there. Well, I suppose it. I mean, technically, I suppose... I don't know how many Borderlands games there are. I mean, wasn't one just like a sort of collection or something? I don't know. I mean, it's called Borderlands 3, isn't it? So... Oh, can you drop it in Discord for us, Kyle? Because I won't get a chance to watch it now, obviously. If you get a chance, just DM me in Discord, bro. I'd love to watch that later. Get myself a nice caramel latte on and watch it. Cheers. Oh, sorry. You stick it in Discord, so yeah, thank you. Yeah. You're right, Tanipi. Performance issue. Yeah, we're talking about Borderlands, though, Tanipi. You're right, Streets. That reminds me, started watching your Far Cry 5 playthrough again, enjoying watching. Oh, really good game, mate. Really enjoyed it. Loved it. Probably one of my... I was saying yesterday, I think Talk is playing it, right? I'm sure he's... Oh, Shades, his health is dangerously low. It's weird because Far Cry 3 was probably my favourite. And even though it isn't the technically superior game, Far Cry 3 was the one that I really... I think that's the one that really got me into the modern Far Cry. Many mountains here. I am so no, you're right, Shades. I think. Might be alright. Not going to stick my neck out. Possibly okay. Might make it to morning. But, yeah, you know, I mean, I was one of the few folks that really liked some of the mechanics in Far Cry 2. I thought that was genius. I mean, there were major technical issues with Far Cry 2, but I liked the malarial sort of side of the game, the gun jamming side of the game. I thought that was something that made the game stand out, but apparently other people didn't like that. But Far Cry 3 kind of was the new modern day Far Cry, and I really loved it. But Far Cry 5 was probably one of my favourite playthroughs of a Far Cry game. I really enjoyed it. I thought they did a really good job with it. And of course, they had the... They weren't the greatest antagonists. You know, I don't think anything's going to compete with like Vars, but I liked them. I thought they were a bit freaky and a bit creepy and a bit, ooh, what's going on here? I enjoyed it. Cheers, Chaos. Thank you. Take care, Bob. You look after yourself, mate. You'll have to let us know when you make the move, dude. And good luck with the travels as well, bro. Yeah, the pre-sequel. That was the like the anti-grav one, wasn't it? You got Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2. You got the Handsome Jack collection, Borderlands the pre-sequel, and then Borderlands 3, haven't you? I'm not sure if that was the right order, but you had an issue once where we kind of broke it. We went a bit overboard with the grenades on a big boss. The sound broke and went really laggy, but that's just the one time. Yeah, I mean, I mean, those kind of things. It's the frame rate. I just don't see how a game of that caliber in this day and age can have such a dodgy frame rate. It's not even particularly brilliant on the Xbox One X or the PlayStation 4 Pro, to be honest. I just don't see how they can have taken a step backwards for a game that doesn't really visually, you know, push the boundaries of, you know, above and beyond Borderlands 2. I mean, yes, it does look better, but actually, does it look that much better? No, it doesn't. Borderlands 2 played like a dream. I mean, it really did. So God knows why this one plays like a turd right now. But I'm sure they'll fix it. I'm sure it'll all be optimized, and let's hope so anyway. Good morning, Wentex. How are you doing, sir? How are you feeling today, mate? You got your MRI tomorrow, ain't you, mate? I hope it goes well if I don't catch you later, dude. You'd love to see Far Cry 3 sometime. We've played it. We played Far Cry 3 on stream, dude. The videos are all there somewhere. Well, in fact, that was the first Far Cry game I did stream. Obviously, Far Cry 2 was donkey yonks ago, wasn't it? WoW is broken in areas, I'd agree. I don't know, is it really, though? I mean, is WoW actually broken? I don't think it is it? I mean, it's pretty freaking stable, WoW. I mean, it has been around for, you know, a decade and a half. I don't think WoW's broken at all. WoW might have things that you don't like, but it's not broken. It's not got broken frame rates and sound glitches and people's accounts getting deleted and things like that Borderlands has got right now, has it? I mean, I'd go so far as to say the only issues with WoW Classic have been brought in due to the layering system that they've had to tag in, obviously, for the first couple of 3 months of release. So that's kind of new tech. It's going to have issues, isn't it? So, for example, the boss exploits and things are going to... But that's not technically broken, is it? That's you choosing to take advantage of a mechanic that is exploitable. I can't believe that thing plays so well on a goddamn laptop. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Did you see the new textures on the Underground Rocks in Joel's video? I did, yes. They're significantly better, mate. Yeah, looks... Yes, they looked... The stone and soil textures look a lot better. Yeah, 100% Wentex. Oh, it's Monday for the MRI. dribbling with the pills. Are they doing the job, Wentex? What's that? Hallow danger? Historians are going to be pissed in the future at the gaming industry. Oh, what, for the way they portray historical events and things? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, breaking NPCs in the layer exploits. What breaking NPCs have you come across? I haven't actually come across that myself, dude. I've the only one I had was is it Lieutenant Doran or whatever his name. And that, I mean, that wasn't broken, but Stitches keeps eating him, which means that I kept having to wait to get quests from him. Going to windowed mode, it had crashed because of an issue with the 3D acceleration, but there is a workaround. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, to be honest, I play full screen with everything if I can, so... You got a new graphics artist with better tools, and Joel is no longer doing textures directly. He's more involved with the technical art side. Something tells me that the whole team has said, Joel, you're really not up to snuff here, mate. Look, get off you guys. They've created a post called the technical art side. Gaz the T-Boy's been promoted to chief bug fixer. Joel's been demoted to technical art side. Do you like the look of this tree, Joel? Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, I like that one. Oh, do you like this one? I like the second one better. Brilliant. Thanks, Joel. You can go home for the rest of the week now, mate. Oh, dear. How big's the team now, Gaz? Are you allowed to say? How many people actually work on the team? The missing diplomat quest was bugged for a bit. Has been fixed now, though. Is that one that I was stuck with yesterday, or? I've done the missing diplomat. That's that really, really long chain quest that starts in Stormwind as you're travelling all over the place, right? I think I did that on the stream the day before, didn't I? There are a lot of technical wiggly-poklies in getting your textures work in the game. I love your grasp of development language. I think it's wonderful. I can just imagine this in... It's why with this game is in the state it's in, isn't it? It's look, there's this dude on the internet, mate. He's a right dickhead, and he keeps moaning about the stone textures. Like, what are we going to do about it? Is there anything we can do? Well, you know, as a chief technical artist, you see, the problem is, mate, there's a whole lot of technical wiggly poklies that's causing us a few issues, and you know, a little bit of a poke and a little bit of a prod and a jingly wingly on that bit, then maybe we can get it working. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. You come back to us in a fortnight, mate. Brilliant. I wish I worked for the Fun Pimps. I truly do, mate. It must be fucking a riot every day working with you lot. Is that what the T in Gaz is known for? T-boy for the Fun Pimps. I bet sometimes that's what he wishes he was doing. Probably have an easier time of it coming into this chat. No, for things like Doom when it came out both in the 90s and again not too long ago. They need to stop giving sequels and remakes the same thing. Oh, sorry. It's the same with everything though, Helen. It's the same with the movie industry, mate. They're playing it safe. They're just playing it safe. It's why the Fun Pimps are still making this game all these years later. It's a cash cow, mate. It just makes them money. So why go and make a new game when you can just keep pretending that this is actually moving forwards? We all know. We all know the Fun Pimps could just get on with it and finish this. It literally, like, every alpha that comes out, the modding community does things that, you know, just blows the game out of the water. And, like, as a bunch of professional developers, we all know that the Fun Pimps could just get a fucking wriggle on, stop fannying about, finish the game, make it gold, and go make another game. But that would be too risky. They can just keep teasing us over 6, 7... I mean, it'll be a decade before this game releases. We all know that. There's no way this won't be in production for a full decade before it goes gold. So that gives us at least another 3 years of alphas. Yeah, I've been in meetings like that, Gaz. Yeah. Yeah, totally. I always panic when they bring out the whiteboard and start doing Venn diagrams. And I tell you what, if they flip over and start doing bloody flowcharts, that's when I know the jiggery pokery is getting, you know, getting serious, mate. I'll start making notes at that point, Gaz. Yeah, it's the same the world over, Hallowed. It's just people. It's easier to play it safe, innit? It's easier to go and make. I mean, to be honest, Ubisoft have been doing some cool stuff. I think Ubisoft at least are one of the few developers that are trying new IPs and throwing a curveball into their IPs. We were talking about Far Cry and spin-offs like Primal and New Dawn. You know, a sort of primitive, primal version of Far Cry, a more role-playing version of Far Cry. I mean, kudos to them, you know. We're seeing a real shake-up with Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands this time around with Breakpoint. You know, they're going down a bit more of a survival kind of mode with it. So at least Ubisoft does try and keep things moving forwards. What was that Honor game they made? I can't remember the name of it. You know, that they also don't let their franchises or IPs just die like EA would. I mean, you know, the Division 1 came out, sold really well, but for all intents and purposes, the player base dropped off the charts. But they didn't give up. You know, that they gave them time to refine it, improve it, and eventually we got a cracking game in Division 2. But again, you know, they dropped the ball post-release. I think Ubisoft are the last bastion of hope, really, for developers themselves, actual coders. You know, it's not like, you know, Anthem came out, and where is it now? It's just been buried by EA. They don't want anything to do with it, do they? It's creative leads, you know, already left. You know, that they destroyed the roadmap on the website. You can't even find that anymore. At least Ubisoft stand by their products, and I think that's rare in this day and age. The focus groups, yeah. Well, let's be honest, your only focus group is Joel's family at Thanksgiving, isn't it, really, mate? So it's too complicated. It's too much like Minecraft, all these fiddly things. Scrap all that. You've bought 2 versions of this game. Oh, because you own it on the PlayStation 4 or something as well, do you? Napstime, thank you for the follow, my friend. Thank you for the follow. 20 to 25. I thought, to be honest, mate, I was gonna hazard a guess that. I mean, originally I kind of estimated, you know, a while back, pre-world builder recruitment and all that. I guessed you were about 15, and I did think you'd moved into the 20 plus. If you'd said 30, I wouldn't have been surprised actually, Gaz. That's good to know. Thanks for that, dude. You cannot say there's plenty for the sorry, specifics. I'm not sure what you mean by that, dude. Oh, sorry, I missed the first thing. It's all right, my chat's all over the place again, so I've got to fix this, actually. It's sometimes I see a post, and then I haven't seen the original comment. It comes through backwards, mate. It's just literally popped up. It's like you've got a little flurry of text there now. So Ubisoft has rough starts, but they always push to fix things and bring communities around. Exactly. They have faith in a product, even if they don't always have the product they envisioned on day of release. But they always provide the development teams time to... It's like they give them a second chance. You know, it's kind of like, okay, well, it's out of the door. It's selling well, but, you know, the player base is now dwindling in a game that was supposed to sort of, you know, have players around for a long time, you know, in the Division 2. And they do that, you know, it's kind of like... Was it For Honor? For Honor, I think, was the game that I was talking about. Now, that's come a long way since release. I mean, I don't think it's a particularly popular game these days, but, you know, it didn't get dead and buried like Anthem. Cheers, Vale. Yeah, good comment, mate. Ah, hello, Danger. Well, you clearly don't know the background there, then, mate. The console version's got nothing to do with the people that make the PC version. It's 2 completely separate teams. The publishing rights for this game was simply sold to another company called Telltale. And Telltale then hired a secondary developer, essentially, to produce a port of this for consoles under the guise of Iron Galaxy. And then, unfortunately, Telltale essentially went into administration, as you probably do know. Which meant, obviously, development of this game is in limbo. The fun pimps who make the PC version don't own the publishing rights for the console version, so they're certainly not about to embark on anything. And Telltale are, you know, for want of a better word, skint. So that's why. I mean, it's like comparing apples and oranges, mate. Joel is doing good work as an actual game designer now that he's not wearing too many hats. Yeah, I think that's the problem, wasn't it? I mean, like you say, all jokes aside, I should imagine Joel is probably a lot happier now not having to have so many fingers in so many pies, mate. It always, I think we've had this discussion several times, you know, it's what does Joel do? And it wasn't a disrespectful, you know, does Joel sit on his ass all day? It's like, what does he do? You know, what is his primary role? And it always felt like Joel kind of does everything. You know, we know he does testing. We know he's involved, you know, primarily with things like textures back in the early days. You know, creative lead, I should imagine, for the game. There's a point where you just have to say, you know, you need some. It's not about having help. It's about having other sets of eyes on different parts of the development process, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, that's good. That's good. I mean, hopefully, you know, that was part of the issue with Alpha 17. Hopefully, with you know, the apple cart just ran away with you, really, didn't it? Hopefully, Alpha 18, with people having more specified roles and specific boundaries of development, then we can look forward to an alpha that has actually got some fairly robust testing. I mean, well, I was saying earlier, Joel probably is the last person that I would want to be seeing as the primary balance lead for playtesting. I'm sure he's playing it purely out of curiosity rather than his feedback being the be-all and end-all. Like you said, I'd like to think there's a team, or at least a relatively small team of testers that are specifically there for that. But I don't think Joel quite knows the game well enough from a player's perspective, and as we've seen on multiple examples with his rather hysterical playthroughs. But that's not having a pop. I mean, you know, that's great to see a developer almost struggling to play their own game. It goes to show how out of touch he's becoming. You know, because he's not got the massive overview. You know, he's seeing new things in that playthrough that he's like, Jesus Christ, I didn't know about that. You can tell he doesn't know about it the way he builds his Ord base. And since they're wondering why the zombies got around the back, it's because you didn't close the door, Joel. You didn't close the door, mate. That's why. That's why the zombies are coming around the back, bro. You're right, Ghost Pete. How you doing, mate? You're home with a full-blown case of the flu. Oh, also, we were just saying earlier today how many people have been feeling the lurgy recently, dude. You got it as well, mate. It's everywhere, bro. It's absolutely everywhere. Poor Wookie's getting married tomorrow, mate, and he's feeling dreadful. I hope it doesn't last too long, Otter. I wish you a speedy recovery. Jags, server, how does one join Grum? Just go into the sub, whatever it's called, in Discord. You know, the sub-server access or whatever it's called. And just post the details from stats, Jags. Thought I'd heard about the two different teams, didn't know the rest. Yeah, I mean, in theory, we've started hearing rumours and speculation around Telltale now. You know, essentially being back, if you like. So, I mean, we can but hope, Hallowed, that we will actually... Jesus, I tell you, I'm getting through some feed doing that digging like that, you know. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. It just depends. I mean, hopefully, at the very least, with Telltale technically having someone at the helm, we'll be able to continue negotiations with the Fun Pimps as to what the hell happens moving forwards. But I guess from the Fun Pimps' point of view, you know, without being horrible to them, it's not going to be a priority for them. I mean, it really isn't. You know, I'm sure publicly they have to, you know, say, you know, we're very sorry about this and all the rest of it. Technically, it's not our fault, but we kind of wish it hadn't happened. But It was if they wanted to create the console versions themselves, they'd have done it themselves and published it themselves. It's an arena that they're presumably not comfortable with as a development team. I mean, development for the console is a completely different kettle of fish with a game like this in particular. I mean, I remember saying to Gaz the one day, how the hell that even works on the PlayStation 4. It is a freaking miracle, a programming miracle, mate. I mean, it didn't work very well, let's be honest, but it still was a playable game by the time I and Galaxy were presumably told to stop production on it. But the Fun Pimps, probably never set out to have a console version. They had an opportunity. Someone clearly came to them with an offer on the table, and off they went. They made a real motion advertisement for it, and I'm sure they got paid a hefty whack of cash for that publishing rights. It became a #1 bestseller on digital downloads for the PlayStation Store during that period of release. I mean, I should imagine it was pretty lucrative investment for everybody involved. But they've always made it clear, that their focus is the PC version. Anything else on top of that is really icing on the cake. I think when the game eventually goes gold, the port to consoles will definitely happen. I mean, that is a cash cow waiting to happen. And of course, it will be on next-gen hardware by the time this happens. I mean, we are now late 2019. Alpha 17.4, Alpha 18 still, nothing more than a dream on the horizon, really, with a speculative release date, a very tentative release date of October the 4th this year. This time next year, the next generation of consoles, certainly one of the primary manufacturers, Sony or Microsoft, will have a new generation console out. Who's going to manufacture this game on current gen? Yes, the install base is huge. Most people that were interested in it will already have bought it. There will be a new breed, I am sure, on PlayStation 5 or Xbox One X2, and we'll see where the game goes. But I'd be very surprised if it doesn't make the migration. We've seen phenomenal success stories in similar genre games, such as The Forest, for example. So I see no reason why this won't ultimately come to console. Right now, I wouldn't hold your breath on anything they did. That's all. Where's the oh, there it is. Just going to top up these bottles. We'll see what happens. Who knows? Is that what they're doing, guys? Really? A bit of the old vulture scalping of IPs, is it? It's not like the Fun Pimps do not want to make a console version. Worst case, there may be 7 days 2 coming as a new game. Yeah, that's what I'd say, dude. That's exactly. I didn't actually want to say that, mate. That's when I say for the next generation of hardware. I'm not talking about people that currently own the game getting a freebie copy of it. It will be a definite repurchase. It will be 100% 7 days to die. Either under a whole new name, because let's be honest, the name's a bit crap. Or, as you say, 7 days. 7 days to die rebirth, or some reasonably unimaginative name. But yes, absolutely categorical. I didn't want to say that, dude. I actually didn't want to say that out loud, but since you've said it. Waiting for the aftermath on Twitter, bro. What do you mean I'm not going to get the next copy of it? What do you mean I've got to pay for it again? You're having a laugh, you have to what happened last time. Right, let's pop these in here. Jesus Christ, Gaz. Throw this in here. How long have you been working in the industry, mate? Throw that in there. Okay, so let's go and get a little bit of cheeky wood. I would buy 7 days to die too. It has to be more finished than 7 days to die. 7 days VR, can you imagine it? Oh, Jesus. Right, Scouts, don't think I'll ever catch up since end of stream is basically waking up. What are you doing up at this time of the day then, Scouser? What's keeping you all wide awake and chirpy in your step today, mate? Right. So, let's get a little bit more wood, actually. What's the next thing to do? We've obviously got a cobblestone being manufactured now. It's already day 4. Now, if we go and start producing the cobblestone now, we can make the flagstone blocks to get a... I think we'll be able to get a smelting wall and a Lethean ring up for first Horde night. I see no real reason why we can't do that. If we start building the primary shaft now for the mine access, we should be good to go. I think it'd be a waste of time, guys. Utter waste of your time and anybody else's time, mate. The sale has left. The seeds of despair have been sown by the community. There's nothing to be gained from it, dude. There really isn't. The only thing you've got going for you right now is the install base for PlayStation 4 and Xbox, which is phenomenal. I mean, I don't know how close, realistic. I mean, I was saying earlier, guys, I'm not sure if you're in chat. I was just perusing the YouTube comments of Joel's latest video, and some gentleman or lassie had asked the question of whether or not the NPCs were being worked on. And that's what they said. They weren't any more specific. They just said, are the NPCs being worked on? Now, I read that to... Well, I won't say what I inferred from that. Let's continue with the conversation before we jump to any conclusions. But the 7 days development account, which is the account that publishes those videos, responded to that comment saying, we are, but basically don't expect anything until Alpha 20. So, I mean, I have no idea what the current speculation for alphas is. I mean, let's be honest, officially, it was there in black and white. It's why I don't pay any attention to anything on the forums anymore. At one point, pre-Alpha 17 release, there was the insinuation, and it can't have been inferred anyway. It wasn't a case of misreading it, like Roland's been talking about recently about the original release date, which is not accurate at all. We don't need to go into that. But... it was said that it was in black and white. There may not even be an Alpha 18. Now what as a community, what were people going to read into that? They were going to read into it, well, if there's not going to be an Alpha 18, then the game's presumably post-Alpha 17, not far off going into Alpha. There was then a post not so long later inferring there would be an Alpha 18 and possibly an Alpha 19. Now we've got confirmation on a public YouTube video saying that there is something that may be available in Alpha 20. So clearly the whole development process is very much a piece of string right now. Even internally, it would appear that no one knows what's going on. And not because it's mayhem and chaos, just because presumably maybe the game is blossoming internally. And like you said, we've got very clearly defined development roles and progress is being made and things that you could only have dreamed of internally are now becoming a reality. Who knows? You know, maybe the teams are all talking to one another like never before, and the game is optimized like never before, and we have room to add new content, new mechanics to the game with a view, you know, maybe even with a view to looking at DLC in you know, post-production. Who knows? I'm not on the team, but it sounds like they're in a pretty good place. Early sleep. I go to sleep like 4-ish hours, then wake up for North America morning, then take several cat naps throughout the day. Or you're one of those like power nappers, are you, Scouter? Wellness comes back in 7 days tonight. Expected release. It will never happen. There's no way Wellness is coming back. And I don't think Learn by Doing will ever come back either. Oh, a 5 on a bacon sarnie. Oh, nice, sir. Oh, thank you very much. Joel said the game would go gold this year. Did he really? Oh, I didn't realise that. It was presumed that they may go into beta or Alpha 1819, or I think one of the devs said they'd hope to reach that point. Well, it was specifically, it was very much, the comment was very much, you know, there may not even be, it was simple, there may not be an Alpha 18. I think that's pretty much the exact words, wasn't it? Alpha 18 is very likely to be on the proposed date of October the 4th. There were simply a few bugs too many to rush out. And then obviously, and then it was TwitchCon as well, wasn't it? Because some of the dev team were at TwitchCon, I seem to remember reading. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Let's go and grab the clay soil. And let's start manufacturing the cobblestone. Now we can make thousands. Let's make 700. Alright, so let's do that. And let's pop the surplus in there. Let's throw the water in there. So if we go and spend the rest of today doing some basic scavenging, tomorrow we should have plenty to actually... Going to hit the poppin' pills. I have a feeling that Shades may be making her way this way. And may look slightly battered and bruised if she ever makes it. How's it going over there, Shades? You alright, mate? Jags, thank you for the gifted sub to Gaz, mate. Thank you very much for the gifted sub. Welcome back to the sub club, Gaz. Always a pleasure to have you in chat. You know I don't need to say it, mate. It's always a pleasure, sir. You have a cooking pot. You're alright, Shades. I can't believe you've had so far to war. I don't think I've ever seen anyone join a server be so far away from, like, you know, the server boot up point. Doing the streamer weekend during TwitchCon would be weird. Yeah, well, I mean, it's, to be honest, I think if anything, Gaz, like anything in this industry, I think it wouldn't have done you any harm, mate. Yeah, it really wouldn't. You know, people are, you know, TwitchCon is TwitchCon. It doesn't stop people watching Twitch, mate. You know, people that want to see Alpha 18 are going to watch it. You know, you could release it on Christmas Day, dude, and people are going to be watching it. It's, you know, it's that sort of game. It's like I said, all this theory crafting about, oh, they're not going to release it on the same opening weekend as Borderlands. I don't think people give a flying toss, mate. I really don't think they do. You know, people can still play Borderlands while they're watching the streamer weekend. You know, it's in fact, I should imagine a lot of people would have quite happily have looked forward to that as a weekend of entertainment. But this is one of those games, and the Fun Pimps are one of those dev teams. They don't need to necessarily abide by the rules. You know, I think you could easily have released it at TwitchCon. Or the weekend of TwitchCon, and got a huge amount of publicity from it. I think the simple fact of the matter is, if you've got members of the dev team that wish to attend TwitchCon, that might need to be on standby to go, oh balls, we've got a bit of a problem here. Because let's be honest, right? There is not going to be anything worse than releasing this to a stream team on a Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and then going, we're really sorry, we can't release on the Monday morning. All freaking merry hell will break loose. So yes, I think making sure the dev team are all on standby to pick up any bugs, glitches, major freaking errors and terrible hiccups that will need to be fixed prior to the Monday morning release. Or at least as damn soon as, you know, the Tuesday or Wednesday if need be. I should imagine, I mean, yeah. There's already enough animosity towards the stream team as it is. Like, why should they get it early? It's not fair. God forbid it doesn't release on the Monday morning at the crack of dawn, North Atlantic time, you know. Yeah, well, I think that's a choice, to be honest, guys. I mean, that's a choice. Like I said, it's... I honestly don't think that I can't imagine that has had any impact, has it, internally. I think it's going to be much more likely for the reasons that... I mean, we got that. What is the dude that does the big charity event, and isn't he scheduled for October the 4th? It's like, you know. I'm sorry, but I kind of don't see it that way, mate. If you're going to TwitchCon and Alpha 18 releases that weekend, fuck it. You know, make a fucking choice, mate. You're all big boys and girls, aren't you? It's a privilege to be on the stream team, not a right, you know. You don't want to stream it and you want to go to TwitchCon, fuck off to TwitchCon, you know. Enjoy your time. The game will still be there on the Monday morning. You can play it alongside everybody else, can't you? Ridiculous. Too many entitled people in the world, mate. I'm kind of annoyed that I haven't seen any animals coming over here. I was kind of really looking forward to it. Gaz is now a sub, and we can properly abuse him now. It's got the badge of approval, you see. It's no old barred now. Sub versus sub. Thank you very much, Jack. Seriously, dude. Thank you. I appreciate it, mate. Nobody's allowed to spawn near. It does seem weird that I've never seen a spawn so far away. I think Shay's spawning 5 kilometers away from me. I mean, that's a long way away, mate. Well, you know, on day 1 on a server, isn't it? You normally all spawn in a, well, I say normally from my own personal experience, we tend not to be that far from one another. Yeah, it might be a couple of kilometers here and there, but... Right, we're in. At least we're in the back room. Does this work? Oh my god, we got a working chem station. We have got a working chem station there. Oh gosh, where did you come from, you knobber? Wow, close call, mate. How much testing do they actually do before they put a game out? Never enough. Well, I think Alpha 17, we can all honestly draw a conclusion, not a lot. So I think Alpha 18, there's a lot more going on if I was to read between the lines. Even with the amount of footage we're seeing Joel personally putting out, would be very indicative of a development team that kind of learnt a pretty harsh lesson with Alpha 17. Gosh, grab that, grab that, grab that, grab that, grab that. Let's see, come out the door. Not yet. Whoa, unlucky, Grum. Unlucky. We're going to have to do a dodge. Oh, that was close, bro. That was close. No bleed, though. No bleed. That's all we care about. We okay behind us? All looks good. Just no, alright? Guys, that has to be sorted if you can, mate. Pro tip, you know, I'm all about making your game look as sexy as we can, right? If there's any way, I'm going to guess the way it's implemented is indicative of some very old base code. But let me show you something. You know how I can interact with that? If I'm in this, if I remove the heads-up display, I can't interact with anything. It's like unless the heads-up display is on, I can't do anything. It would be really nice as an immersive playthrough for some people. You know, it's something you can't, you know, if it's not impossible to fix, mate, it would make a really nice version of the game. You know, where you're actually playing it without a heads-up display almost. But we can't, we literally physically can't play the game like that because I can't interact with anything when the heads-up display is removed. It just won't let me. I have to have the heads-up display in order to interact. I don't know if it's something that they're even aware of, but, you know, if that can happen, you know, it doesn't have to happen like now or anything, dude, but it would be something, if it's just a really simple little code tweak, it would be brilliant, dude. You know, a lot of people can get super immersed in this, mate. There's a lot of games that do similar things, and a lot of people thoroughly enjoy that extra element of immersion and or difficulty, if you like. Even if they only do it during combat, you know? Take the ones on the roof out before we head down. Oh, Jesus, what the hell? Can you follow me up the ladder? Is he in the... Jesus. $20 arrows. We've got to be a bit careful here, haven't we? Recipes. Stone. Let's make another 50 stone. I'm just going to scrap that. Well, like I said, I didn't want to make it overly complicated, guys. I mean, obviously, if you could remove, you know, if you could keep the toolbar, for example. All I was thinking was sometimes it is nice just to see the screen. Unfortunately, I have got a couple of things that apparently Streamlabs decided to stay on my screen here with Chaos's minion in the bit jar, but it is actually a nice looking game like that. Because, you know, I don't want to, you know, start another war, but, you know, you do have a fucking shit ugly heads up display. But it's kind of like quite immersive playing like this and being able to aim down sights while you're in combat. I mean, yeah, it would be nice to be able to maybe have the toolbar so you can still see, you know, where you are. But I mean, most people know anyway. Most people have a fairly static toolbar. I know where everything is myself anyway. You know, so some people are going to argue, yeah, but I want my health bar. But I'm just saying, from an immersive point of view, it's more the fact I can't interact with anything, dude. You know, it'd be a purely personal choice. But I can't open this without. Well, I can't open that anyway. But you know what I mean. But yeah, it would be. You know, if you really wanted to super... I mean, I would say that if you wanted to go down that route rather than just fixing the fact I can't press E when I do this, which is all I really want as a precast. I mean, if you were going to do it properly, I would suggest you go down the route of how Ubisoft have become very well known in the industry for not only wonderful customization of heads-up display elements, but also for things like accessibility. With variable font sizes, colorblind options, etc., etc. I mean, I'd like to think one day, you know, when the bulk of the work is done and the game goes gold, that the Fun Pimps will definitely support a more accessible game, you know, for people that maybe aren't blessed with perfect vision and, you know, what we would deem as normal color vision and things like that. I would expect nothing less of any developer in this day and age, to be honest, But yeah, I mean, if you were to go down the route of saying, you know, you can turn off the party, you can turn off your health, but keep the endurance, you can turn off your quest, you can turn off the experience bar. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that's Ubisoft are very well known for. Even heads-up display scaling and font scaling, for example. You can even go all the way down through full customization, drag and drop heads-up display elements. But you know, I wouldn't want to see development focus on that just yet. But yeah, at the minute, it's more a case of, even though we do have the option of cleaning up the inventory, I actually physically can't then interact. It just can't be done, and it's just really weird. Right, let's go and drop off our stuff back. Is home the little house icon, or? Yes. Oh, I just suddenly realised I haven't put a sleeping bag down yet, have I? Oh! I'm sorry we're delaying Alpha 18 until December the 25th so we can implement Grumble's idea. No. That could be very last. That could be beta, that can. I'm still looking forward to the backlash on icons. I can't believe I didn't realise how upset people were about icons. I just thought, you know, whatever, you know, the icons have always been quite laughable because of the lack of, pixel perfection on the transparency. There are still areas that are not transparent on the icons. And the rather farcical little shadow swirl that so many things that don't have a round shadow swirl. I thought when we get new icons, I was like, yeah, whatever. Brilliant. New icons, great. Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, whatever. Just tell me about what content we're getting. What gameplay changes we're getting. But wow, Jesus, people really don't like the new icons already, do they? I haven't really seen them properly. I've kind of... You know, Joel's video this morning was about as high res as I've seen them, really. I don't really see what the problem is. There's got to be a problem for some people, because I keep reading it on forums and Twitter and in chat here, and it definitely seems to be some folks that are really not happy with it. There must be something I'm missing. Oh, shades. I've got. Oh gosh, I actually thought I'd just buff that. Got us fresh meat, mate. What's that Streamlabs thing, Chaos? What's that, dude? It would never go through as a hack like that. It would at least be working like a hotbar that auto hides after 3 seconds or so. A lot of it can be modded, but I know little about the UI. Your UI is a fucking nightmare, dude. And it's a nightmare to work with as well. The whole GUI is just nightmarish. I can assure you of that, sir. Right. What are we actually doing? Let's get topped up on food and water. Seasonal zombies like a Santa at Christmas and a Halloween zombie. What's a Halloween zombie gonna look like? What's that? I've seen one pig on my way and a snake and a wrench. That's pretty good going, actually. The wrench will be great.
Let's start making some flagstone blocks. Flagstone blocks. Or what should we go for? Let's go for 100. And we'll have a little bit left over, won't we? Should we go back into town for a bit more scavengy McScavengy? We need to spend some... I don't know how to become the dedicated miner. We're going to need someone that's going to spend some points on that, aren't we? Let's go back and hit the internal on that POI. We've not done the front, have we? Yeah. What's you didn't think this one through, did you, Jags? I mean, I can understand an Easter Bunny zombie. You know... a Diwali, you know, glowing zombie, you know, Festival of Light. You did not mind. To be honest, neither do I. I like mining, mate. I did it for 12 hours in Alpha 17 Vanilla. Just to find nitrate. It was glorious. I've got such happy memories of it. I don't wake up in the middle of the night sweating, trembling, screaming at the girlfriend, grab my pickaxe! A flying witch or a Frankenstein. Oh, I like the idea of a Frankenstein's head. Oh, that'd be cool. Like Harry Munster. Please don't do it. Please don't ruin my immersion. I can imagine a witch flying over, cackling. You can have that as a free soundbite, Gaz, alright? Honestly, straight up. No copyright, nothing. Just straight up, mate. Just add a little witch that flies around at night on Halloween. You're right, Midnight. I have not read yet, but have they by chance made it where you can get more than one trader quest at a time? No. No. One at a time only, bro. Only one quest at a time, sir. Cheers, guys. Yeah, like I said, you just clip, you know, royalty free, copyright free. Good work, lad. Good work. Pop the kettle on while you're at it. Oh dear, guys. Gaz, look, seriously, how are you anyway, mate? You been playing anything, dude? You were Borderlands, man. Or is this kind of crunch time? I should imagine it is, isn't it? I can't imagine even a relatively comfortable development team like yourselves can avoid crunch. It always has been and always will be part of an industry, and like, or rather, just like any other, you know, that has deadlines to me. I think people talk about gaming crunch being as if it's specially unique to poor little gaming developers. I think anybody that works in any form of industry knows what crunch is all about. Unpaid overtime and all the rest of it. Whether or not it's any worse in the gaming industry, no one's ever going to know unless they've worked in that particular studio. But crunch is crunch, mate. Oh, jeez, you just got wrecked, dude. Wasn't actually a bad shot, that, to be honest. What's it? Is he going to slide down? No, he's not. I was going to say, if he'd slid down, that would have been perfect, wouldn't it? Right, let's get some loot. Have we got any... Let's go. Let's just go very quick. Let's try and beat... Oh, how did I get in here? Let's just make a very quick storage box, because I'm going to have to come in and out of here. I don't want to get caught. Oh, shit! Like that! Shit, bloody hard, man. Did I actually make the storage box? Oh, gee. How dare you, Mr. Zombies? How inconsiderate. We'll pop that there because it will. It could be a. Oh no, actually no. Wait, you don't get popping pills as quest POIs, do you?
I'll just throw that in there, but obviously that and that are a must take. Oh, and yeah, cheeky Frankenstein's. Oh, I like the sound of this, mate. Halloween edition, $4.99. I tell you, I tell you what, mate. The amount of cash I could make you guys with some DLC suggestions. We got the finger on the pulse here, you know, Gaz. Yeah, I was saying this the other day, Gaz. I should imagine it's a relatively comfortable environment with, you know, obviously deadlines, but not trying to bleed every last ounce of creative and, I guess, waking hour out of you, right? Well, some of them are supposed to be quiet though, Cook. I'm not sure whether or not that isn't actually as designed, right? I mean, some of the sleeper zombies are just really quiet. I kind of quite like that. I suppose that's one of those things that involves a little bit of suspension of disbelief, and to a new player it's going to be annoying. I think this is where we have an overlap of... And when I say experienced, I don't mean as in good players, I just mean people that played the game for a long time. I used to really like it when a zombie would spawn in right behind me in a POI. And it's like I used to say, you know, it's one of those things, be careful what you wish for. If you fix that, you've just lost one of the most like terrifying parts of the game. One of those things that actually can throw a curveball at you. And I used to sort of roleplay in my head like, yes, you know, that zombie shouldn't have just miraculously spawned. But actually, it's in a roleplay sense, it's the one that was kind of, you know, down behind the couch, or, you know, the one that was in the garage that I didn't spot in the corner because it was a little bit gloomy. You know, like the spooky zombie that was hiding behind the curtain or something, like a stealth ninja zombie. And I didn't dislike it, and I think it was another example where I used to talk about the AI and be very careful what you wish for. You know, if you suddenly have zombies that actually are predictable, you know, a zombie in theory, if you want to go into the, you know, the real world scenario of generally accepted zombie lore, you know, a zombie is gonna, you know, technically see a route to you, but it depends on which theory of lore you subscribe to. I mean, The Walking Dead, the buggers will just walk into a stake. You know, in other forms of lore, zombies will actually avoid obstacles. It's a tricky one. I mean, adding the footsteps, yeah, it makes sense. I totally agree. You know, knowing a zombie's behind you because you can hear it is actually a wonderful thing when you spin around just in time to nail it. But at the same time, if you're not careful, you take away so many of the actual hidden dangers of what the current implementation is, that you might end up with a game where zombies are so predictable, make so much noise when they're coming at you. They haven't really got a chance, dude. You know, that would be great in a game where, you know, the zombies are runners, perhaps, and you don't, you know, you hear them, but you don't hear them until they're literally like freaking, you know, 3 steps away from you. So it's a balance, isn't it? I'm not saying there's a right or there's a wrong, but it's something you'd have to put some serious thought into. The fact that a zombie that I miss over here that's a sleeper will actually wake up and come and poke me on the bum, I actually really like that. You know, it's my mistake. I should have spotted it. But yeah, I should imagine brand new players to the game probably think, what the hell? How was I supposed to know that? Blah, blah, blah. Where do you want the farm? The only plan I've got, really, Shades, at the minute, is to build... think of a smetan wall. So we're going to want an area around the main shaft, as you can... If you're over there, if you can see it. Have I been in there? Oh, yeah, well, that was the back room, wasn't it? I mean, an Alethian ring is sort of about 4-ish blocks. The main shaft is probably going to be a 7x7, I would have thought. Or at least a 5x5. And then you've got the Alethian... Oh, sorry, the smetan wall. The Alethian ring's about 4 blocks. The smetan wall's going to be 5 nipples only. So you're probably talking about a 9-block length. So I would say any area that's flat... I don't know, really, mate. Depends if you want to do a perimeter wall, Shades. Do we want to put a big perimeter wall around it so we kind of battle on the wall and then have to dash back to the smetan wall? That could be quite good fun. So we'll want it in the compound, but we don't want it so close that it's getting damaged. It's a tricky one, mate. Don't know. Whack it down. We'll wing it somehow, mate. I mean, if we suddenly decide to expand exponentially, we can always rip it up because we can get the seeds back anyway, can't we? Any dev jobs going, Gaz? Not that I know of. It's a recruitment channel now, look. Hey, Gaz, got any jobs, mate? I'll come be the T-boy, Gaz, all right? I think I'd have to travel quite a bit. You lot are all spread out all over the place, aren't you? The POI setups and tech got smarter too. Sleeper volumes can be connected to the designers can spawn a... Oh, guys, we were talking about this last week. Oh, that is going to be brilliant, dude. Oh, dude, that is fantastic. Is that being incorporated as we speak? Oh, that is really cool, mate. That'll solve so many issues with the... That you look absolutely... I tell you what, that character model looks absolutely freaking outstanding, Shades. Although you... Are you infected? I love your hat, mate. You're like a Peaky Blinder. I've got my hat on. Hang on, have I got my hat on as well? It's the Peaky Bloody Blinders, mate. It's the Peaky Blinders here in 7 days. Let me show you. Let's take this off, look. Look at that. What's up, banana? You can be Polly, all right? Are you going to be Polly? And I'll be Arthur. I don't want to be Tommy. What's that? A ward of nipples and a cock ring? Yeah, you got it, Gus. You know Grumbodia well, don't you, mate? You've obviously had a nice pint of beer with Mojo. That is brilliant about the sleeper volumes being connected. That is really cool, Gaz. Yeah, exactly, Smetano. Exactly. Yeah. That is gonna really bring the POIs alive, isn't it? Oh, that is awesome news. Do you mind if I use your box as well? Just help yourself to anything, by the way, Shones. This isn't a leave Grum alone playthrough. Just share whatever we need, mate. We've got some antibiotics and general sort of food. I think. I mean, I think I was doing okay. What I'd like to do is just get the shaft done. Let me see what we've got kicking out. I'm gonna have to. Oh, gee, I've got a beaker here as well, mate. Check this out. Got some really good loot for a first day. Got some splints. Got some seeds. So what will maybe? Oh, mine's locked. What is it? Oh, is it locked by default? Is it? Oh, sorry, mate. You'll have to remind me about that because I always forget default. I always think locked is something that you have to do. I'll tell you what, we've got we'll just pop a chest there just as a drop off point. So did I bring back the flagstone? Damn, did I not pick everything up that was in the box? I didn't, did I? Let me go and get that. I think I put a loot box down there, didn't I? I forgot to actually pick up the loot from it. I think. Oh, Gaz, I have to ask you this. I do have to ask you this. You know, normally I'm not so direct, you know, unless it's a fairly innocent question. But this one, I feel like asking. Alpha 18. Have you managed as a team to resolve the issue with... That's not where we're going, is it? I'm going there. With infection. I didn't realise until I came back to vanilla that infection just wasn't a thing. Is that back on the cards, mate? Feel free, as I always say, not to answer, dude. But that would just be so good to know if infection's back. It really is something I honestly do not know how as a team you didn't patch Alpha 17 to have infection back in and running. It just literally it's a zombie game, mate.
You know, there are things that we expect, and having antibiotics and herbal antibiotics as these rewards for questing and recipes to make them, and to not have infection just seems like how can that have been allowed to persist? So infection, dysentery, and food poisoning are all completely overhauled. You're a star, mate. I won't pester you anymore. Thank you for that, dude. Honestly, that was just something that you know, as much as we rant and rave, and you know, we'll just simply have to, you know, we've got different opinions on different things, and I don't mean you and I, Gaz. Everyone, you know, everyone has got an idea on how this game should be made, and I think that's because the fun pimps maybe are too accessible. I think some devs would not be talking as openly on their forums. They would have the very cut and paste dry responses. We are considering it, etc., etc. You know, Joel gets quite involved. You know, it's something that I've always said is quite an endearing, but also comes across sometimes as an unprofessional way. But which way would you rather have it? I think I'd rather have it the way the fun pimps do. You know, they do feel like they're accessible. Even if they never listen, at least you feel like you've got somewhere to sound your opinion. But that was the one thing. That was the one thing that I didn't understand how Alpha 17 can have allowed to continue as a final product branch, having such a fundamental part of the game just not working. Everything else is kind of like, you know, it's a bug, or this doesn't work, or that's a pre-existing dupe issue. You know, this is a bad frame rate in this POI. All the rest of it is kind of stuff that you think, yeah, well, as it goes through alpha and beta, it'll probably get fine-tuned and all the rest of it. But actually having infection just literally not working, that is, I couldn't get my head around that, dude. I really could. I really struggled with that. It's just, it's like having a zombie game with no zombies almost. Can you not both go in the chest at the same time? Holy shit! What was that game that I was playing where you could both go into the chests at the same time then? Wow, I didn't even realise we couldn't do that. Next to the cloth grub. Oh no, it was this. Sorry, midnight. No, it was the these that I left over there. I even put them down in the bottom, didn't I? What game were we playing where we could both access the chest at exactly this? Oh, Minecraft. Yes, you're right, Shades. Thank you. Wow, it's amazing how that little thing kind of threw me then. It's like, whoa. You're right, Scouter. What's this about daily exercising with the tug? Oh, is that? Oh, hang on. I think I know what that is. That's that weird stretchy dildo in Discord, right? Hey, if anyone wants to come and join our Discord, there's some wonderful things in it. Just exclamation mark Discord in chat. You're more than welcome. Now, if you have an infection, additional zombie hits can actually make it work. Ooh, I like the sound of that. Oh, so it's actually like a cumulative infection. Ooh, I like the sound of this. So actually going out and battling while infected in order to cure the infection can actually result in terrible things. I like it, dude. Ooh, you see? There's still hope. Not a lot, but... Oh, it's terrible. You know what you're here for, Gaz, don't you? He's a glutton for punishment. Right, time to head down then. Yeah, I can make level 2. I don't know what level tools you can make, Shades, but actually, shall I go and get some water in case we get? Oh gosh, careful, mate. In case we get thirsty down here. Only one. Yeah, I'll make you. If I haven't converted it all to bloody cobblestone. Oh, I've got the hiccup, Shades. Now look, Jesus Christ! Look at her go. She's like a wild animal. Look. It's so weird. It's so long since I've played this game. Looking at another character, it's like Shades is going completely ham down here. She's like, God damn you, rocks! Rah! Take that, evil rock! Look at that! Rah! The character models are funny, mate. They're proper funny. Right, I'm about to splurge me load all over the shaft. All right, check these out. Check these Grumbodian goodies. Right, let's get at it. You watch my feet, all right? You watch the manky toe down here.
Yes, well, of course we do, guys. Yeah, absolutely. See, I play the game, so I'm therefore by default right, and you're wrong because you're the developer. So as long as we have that, you know, very basic understanding, then we'll be fine.
Subway 100 bonus 10.
Thank you,
Shades
Azzy.
looks like a proper your feel gram. Kappa.
She what? She looks like a proper minor. What's your fee? What is that all about, Azzy? Thank you for the bits, my friend. Thank you for the bits. I was planting potato seeds with right click and looked away from the ground. Right click ate the seed. Oh no. I must admit, I've not done that, Jags. You watch me do that next time I'm farming. So in the past you were immune while you had infection. The hazmat zombies are weak, but oh, I see. So we've started adding in some addition. I see. This is the stuff we were talking about, wasn't it? Back in Alpha 16 about our dreams and hopes for Alpha 17. So we're gonna get. So we've got a change in infection, but we've also now got an enhanced chance of infection from certain zombies. So the hazmats, if they hit you, they might not do a lot of damage, but you've got an extremely high chance of infection. This is sounding good, mate. This is making it sound like a zombie is not just a zombie. You know, this zombie, we want to be careful of this. And this zombie, we need to hit it here. Yeah, I'm starting to like that, mate. That's cool. Z, how are you, Z? How's things, mate? How are you today? Are you off for the rest of this week, Z? Oh no, I was so Ploa. I was talking about you at the start of the stream today about how excited you were, mate. Oh no, dude. Is it just the delay in delivery though? It's built and on its way, as opposed to there's an issue with building it. Oh, dude. Dude. Don't. It'll be here, mate. All right, it'll be there. I bet you're proper gutted in you, mate. Did you take the day off work as well? You're right, Bradley. This is vanilla, dude. This is 100% vanilla, mate. This is 100% vanilla server with myself in shades at the minute, mate. You're right, TV. This Alpha 18 seems to be fake news now. Been too long. We've been friend zoned. It's the reason Gaz comes in here just to falsely promote Alpha 18 and upcoming features. Yeah. You've had the infection design written up literally for years, but it never fits anyone's vision. Now that everyone has seen how bad Alpha 17 was. Oh, so you are agreeing with me then that Alpha 17 was a big bag of bollocks then? It got us in trouble. Well, I'm pleased to hear it, guys. I look forward to it. That does sound pretty cool, actually, mate. Oh, Plo, I'm so sorry, man. I know. I wish I could have had more of a chinwag yesterday, dude. But my dad was quite poorly again, so I had to travel a little bit earlier than originally expected. But yeah, I know. I was actually talking about you at the start of the stream, mate, about how excited you were. What a wonderful day it was for Grimbody with Ploa getting his new gaming machine. You went to work but finished early for nothing. Oh, mate. You're feeling a bit better? Not good yet, though. Still a lot going on, especially the physical. Oh, Z, mate. It sounds like a nightmare, Z. Sounds like work are being reasonable, though, mate. From what you said, you know. It could be a lot worse. Let's be honest, Z. And I think a lot of companies wouldn't have been so understanding. So fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed for you. The Alpha 17 disease designs were done by a designer who no longer works here. Of his own free or her free volition, or... what are we getting Alpha 18? Not better graphics again? Yeah, there are. There's definitely... Well, when we say graphics, I mean, it depends what you... I mean, graphics is a bit general. We're definitely getting improved textures, and it looks like we'll probably be getting some implementation of possibly some new block types, maybe. I don't know whether we'll get anything like new crafting stations or anything, but hopefully there'll be a re-implementation of something resembling semi-decent... Oh, hang on, that never works, does it? Doesn't that make it worse if we both hit the same roll? Some sort of implement of decent ambient occlusion and all that kind of stuff. Oh, and icons. Yes, good point. The apparently icons. It's going to be Icon Gate. Apparently. Yeah, that's right, Z. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, I'm glad you feel. I mean, obviously, I can only infer things from what you've said, mate. But yeah, it sounds like they're doing, you know, what they can. So it's a granular progression now, not one buff replacing another buff. So it can be manipulated in all kinds of ways. So see, this is the kind of system that I'm liking the sound of. Not just because it sounds like an improvement and something that's, you know, hopefully it's not overly complex. I mean, sometimes I think things can get so convoluted, especially in some of the mods that we play, that it almost feels like, you know, I don't want to play real life. I want to play a video game and kick some zombies, but I also want an element of danger and have the ever-present danger of an infection and, you know, something to worry about. I don't want to actually have to go out and get a medical degree in order to cure it, you know. But yeah, I think for me also, it sounds like the foundation of something that modders can build on, not just for infection systems. It could be other, you know, we've seen wound systems, haven't we, in some mods? You know, where scratches turn into infected wounds, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, it sounds like it's going to work for the vanilla game, and then you know, the mods that want to take things the step further will have the foundation to do it. Hopefully. Sounds promising. Are we going to, I mean, again, you know, I don't really want to ask directly. I mean, I'll ask it as a more vague question, and if anybody wants to answer it, you might happen to know. Gaz. But we were playing with vehicles, weren't we, a little bit? And we noticed that there were slots for vehicle modifications. And we never, I don't think in any of my playthroughs we ever found a vehicle mod. So we were under the impression, for example, we could get, I mean, I don't know, additional... I think we got zombie shades. Sure, I heard one. Shall I go up and have a look? I'm gonna drink my coffee for a sec. What was I gonna say? I got scared by a zombie, mate. Yeah, vehicle mods. So we were under the impression maybe we could get sharpened spikes, for example, for the motorbike, which would do more zombie damage when we hit them. I can't think what else people were suggesting. Maybe mufflers for the vehicles, so they weren't as loud or something like that. Oh, and that's interesting. There are also no instant cures to anything. Oh, that's interesting. I'd be more positive about that if I thought your UI was able to represent such things, but obviously I won't judge it until I see it. But I still don't like this this black bar, blue bar, grey bar nonsense. I think it's very difficult for a new player to get their head around. Even when I came back after a relatively short break, I was thinking, hang on, how do I get that back up? Wentex, I mean, Wentex is a seasoned player of the game. And he was in chat saying, hang on a minute, how do I get my max stamina up again? And it's not that it's not... I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It does work. But I think for a new player, it's so overwhelming. It's really not explained in the game in any way, shape or form. It definitely needs some... I mean, that's not something to worry about for Alpha 1819. That's, you know, when the game's getting close to going gold and you're looking at questing... and, you know, early game tutorials and things like that, and journal notes, but it is a very weird system. Yeah, that's right, Sman. That's probably a good way of putting it. When someone gets infected on multiplayer, after so long they turn into a feral, and your teammates have to put him down. We were talking about this a lot, weren't we, Jags, about how that could be implemented. We weren't. Who was it who was in chat? He said that. What was the reason that it couldn't be implemented? It was one of the modders. Was it someone from the Ravenhurst team? Can't remember. And we were saying it would go on essentially like an unknown timer. You'd reach the point of no return, wouldn't you? Where at some point you would turn into just like a crazed killer zombie.
And then the more players you killed, the more powerful you'd become. And you could end up in a situation in the multiplayer game where you ended up with a super zombie that just almost couldn't be taken down. It would, and it would all be because someone got bit on the bum by a dog, mate. We've definitely got zombies up there. It was we used to describe it a little bit like the system that the Nintendo Switch had for Zombie U, and then later Ubisoft released it on the PC, didn't they? And if I died in my game, my character became a zombie, and I in my game I would have to go and get my equipment back, but my zombie would actually migrate through the network into one of my friends' games. And so say, for example, I was playing Zombie U and I died, and Mojo was playing, single player Zombie U. As long as it's connected to the Switch, sorry, it wasn't the Switch, it was the Wii U network. He would suddenly see the Grumble zombie in his game, and I would be like a powerful zombie. And if it killed Mojo, it would then migrate into another world, even more powerful. And I thought that was a brilliantly clever little twist on multiplayer. A little bit like how Watch Dogs does something very different, with the sort of hunter-killer style of gameplay there. It's just a little, it's multiplayer, but it's not, PvP. A better sounding V8 in the truck. Yeah, that is a bit dodgy. Oh, and we need a new horn. DLC, better horns. I mean, that car is embarrassing, isn't it? So vehicle mods should theoretically work, but no time to flesh that out. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Just one. What? So, did shades go up? Oh god, we've got their ladders. Don't fancy being stuck down a dark, deep pit all on my own here, Shades, while you're AFK, mate. I don't think I can get up to go and have a smooch, can I? Is there any light up there? There's a little bit, isn't there, from the two torches? There they are. Oh shit, there's loads of them. I think we don't go out there. Not with my stamina. If my stamina was maxed out, I'd risk it for a biscuit. But if I've got to run, I'm going nowhere fast, am I? You right, GPS? How you doing, mate? Did your idea get shot down in flames, Neo? I'm sorry, mate. Gaz is ruthless like this. I mean, I'd have fully supported unicorns with rockets. I mean, that just sounds glorious, mate. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah, I thought it's I keep saying an incorrect or an expression that isn't truly representative of the situation. I was going to say Alpha 18's been delayed. Alpha 18 hasn't been delayed at all, despite what the internet would like to tell you. We were hoping that Alpha 18 would arrive this weekend, but it's been... The best estimated time of arrival now is October the 4th, GPS. So it's not promised for October the 4th. It's not a guarantee. A little bit like, 20th of September was not a promise. But, how people read into things. So 4th of October is the earliest we will see this. And I thought, the one thing I haven't really done in Alpha 17 is played multiplayer. So I thought we've had a good run on single player. We got a good couple of weeks, 100 hours, whatever it was. And I enjoyed it. I definitely didn't like elements of it. That there are major issues with Alpha 17. So, I think I've got a good basis for seeing the improvements that Alpha 18 no doubt will bring. And I thought we'd just jump on a server, mate. We've got a couple of weeks to play about, so... Might as well see what server performance is like and, how it all works as a team with shared XP and all that kind of jazz. Welcome back, Shades. The party XP bonus did get nerfed a lot, no surprise there. That was ridiculous, mate. That just killed it. Killed the game for me, dude. It's it doesn't bother me whether or not you can turn it up or turn it down. It's just not the way it should be. Did Shades put a bedroll down at the trailer? Oh, I've not put a bedroll here.
Oh, that's a really good point, actually, mate. Hang on, how deep are we? Oh my god, we got miles to go, mate. Shared party XP was absolutely just the nail in the coffin for me. It was just ridiculous. The rate of leveling, if just no, just no. Yeah, the M60. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that myself, I must admit. I'm not particularly, you know, a new gun doesn't excite me as much as it probably does other people. You know, I played with Starvation, and we had some of the greatest guns I've ever seen modded into a game, ever. It was beautiful, Starvation, back in Alpha 15. So I'm not that bothered, really, about extra weapons, but it's going to be great to see them. I mean, I welcome them with open arms, but to me, that's not a huge part of Alpha 18. I'm sure I'll thoroughly enjoy running around with an LMG. I like the LMG, not because it's, you know, what it is. I actually really like the way they've implemented it. I think the aim down sights view is really nice. I've got a decent amount of peripheral vision from what I can tell. I like the ADS cross, or the reticule, if you like. It looks fun. It looks like it packs a punch. I'm sure there's some really nice skills, and I think we've got armor-piercing bullets and things with it, haven't we? So yeah, absolutely, dude. The hitbox on the servers are worse than in single player, but it can't be any worse than single player, mate. I think it's more likely not. The hitboxes are still going to be exactly the same. I mean, the hitboxes don't miraculously change and warp in shape on a server. It would just be due to increased latency. That's all. There's no way it can actually physically be any worse. It's just that the hitboxes are, unfortunately, they just don't work. It's more collision detection than actual hitboxes themselves being an issue. I mean, you know, you can fire straight into a zombie's head in single player like 3 times in a row and it just doesn't do any damage. Is it a medium? I don't even know. I just call them LMGs. I don't even know what an LMG. I think anything that is got anything that's big, anything that's bigger than an assault rifle is an LMG. Anything a little bit smaller than an assault rifle is an SMG, and anything smaller than that is like a pistol. You know, I can. Oh, and then obviously we've got the ever-present shotgun to throw in the mix. That's about as advanced as we get in the UK. Oh, and then rifles. Then we have, obviously, rifles as well, I suppose. God, blimey, look at me. I know my guns, don't I? You can mount scopes on the M60. That's not how machine guns work. So hang on. So what is it? It's a medium machine gun. I think you're just talking bollocks now. So anyway, the M60 LMG, which we're all looking forward to, is going to be fucking awesome, right? I can't wait. I want some red dot scopes as well, whatever they're called, for my assault rifles. Hopefully, we won't just be stuck with the AK. I'd really like to think that there is like a slightly more... I don't know. I don't know the names of guns, but something's a little bit more sexy than the AK that we've had. So something that looks a little bit more modern. Not that I dislike the AK. I'd like to see something a bit more... I don't know what... a SCAR. What's a SCAR? SCAR H. LMG, light machine gun. What, really, Smirnoff? Oh, wow, thank God you're here to teach us the way of guns. You'd have thought that, mate. What's an SMG then? I'm kind of confused now. It uses the gas function, adding like 10% per extra party member instead of some obtuse system. Oh, right. Oh, I see. You're talking about the shared... Oh, okay. Okay. You didn't actually type that out, did you, Sway? You didn't read into that, did you, Sway? How you doing, bro? I'm too good. I'm too fucking good at trolling you, like I tell you. SCAR is an entire modular weapon system, a rifle construction. Yeah, I remember the Division. We got the SCAR H's and the SCAR L's and all that kind of jazz. I kind of liked all that. It felt schmexy, mate. Proper schmexy. An AA-12. What's an AA-12? Is that like a big piece of ordnance? I'm thinking artillery now, Doc. Right, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go and start construction on... Oh, hang on. I need to drink my coffee. Hang on. Let me get out of here. We got zombies incoming. Oh, apparently I'm starving hungry. We need to get a cooking campfire up, really, don't we? Let's use that. We've got everything we... God, I've got the bloody hiccups. Will I let it fall down there? That would be hysterical, wouldn't it? Let's close the door just in case that actually happens. I wouldn't forgive myself. The squeals of Shades trying to hatchet a bloody zombie to death as it lands on her head. It's like you had one job, Grub. One job, bro. What was that? What was that shotgun that we named in sort of unison with Shelby? What was the Shelby gun? Can't remember that. We had a right old fancy name for it, didn't we? Okay, so that really needs to go. That is of no use whatsoever. I really should not have put that there. No, I never go to a max level. No, I find max level just dull, to be honest. I think that I don't even know what we've got set up, but we will do some server tweaks as long as everything's working today. We normally play on 1 down from max DV, which I think is kind of the nice balance. It's so to be honest, I'm not overly fussed. I don't really care whatever everybody else. If I don't you know, if someone's a relatively new player, I don't want to make them suffer just so that we can have a slightly more challenging game. To be honest, the difficulty don't really change a fucking lot anyway. It's for EPing people that worry about playing on crazy difficulty settings. Just enjoy the game. I don't like games where zombies are bullet sponges and all that kind of jazz. Just enjoy the game as it is. We normally, I think it's called Warrior, isn't it, that we play on? Is that like setting 4 of 5 or... I think it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the settings, isn't it? Or 1 through 6 as you look at it elsewhere. The Shelby shotgun. Was that what it was? Was it just called the Shelby shotgun? I thought it had a bit of a fancier name, to be honest. So if we have this as the centre of what will be the... Can I hear more zombies? Yeah, if we have that as the sort of beginning... Oh, crumbs. Oh, gosh, I thought I messed up then. Of like a fort fucky... Oh, I was trying really hard not to do that. I thought I was going to support it. What a knob. Alright, so we can definitely get in and out of there. We're obviously going to have to get rid of that hatch, but... Get rid of that now. Can't reach it, can I? I went too far. What happens if you hack out a hatchet while you're on it? Let's not test it. Let's just hack it out. Zero loot respawn. We normally run on 30 days, mate. And to be honest, on a server, 30 days is forever anyway, dude. I mean, I've always said that the game shouldn't even have respawn. I would happily turn off loot. In fact, to be honest, mate, I think that should be the default setting. Even on a server, I think it then forces people to have to travel out and go and camp out. To be honest, I think people say, I think the commonly accepted sort of methodology of that is that people say we only keep loot respawn on servers. I'd argue it should be the other way around, quite frankly. Right, okay, so that's going to be the hub, all right? Then we're going to want to bring this out another one over what we normally do, because we just didn't have enough room, did we? But we've got to be really careful we don't break the golden rule of 15. So I'm not sure how far we can do this, but it will definitely be one bigger than normal. So that's a 5x5 instead of a 3x3, yeah? So if we build our first smeton wall along there, that will be... So let's just see if we can figure this out. So I need the cobblestone, don't I? Which is where? Where's our cobblestone gone? We are going to want recipes. I think it's page... We want to make a few changes, don't we, to how we used to do it. Let's start with the plates. And I think they're on page... Yeah, we want to... Let's get 3 of those out. I'm going to want 2 of those. Where the hell are the plates? I can't find plates. Sorry, not plates, halves. Where's the half blocks? There they are. 1, 2... Well, let's just make a few. I might have to play about with this. So... we're going to want to be going... Let's just level this out a bit. Do you destroy nests? I don't normally, no. But that's because we'd have respawn on normally shades. But it's very rare that we get that. I mean, we only normally get 3 cycles in anyway, don't we? And they don't respawn anyway. Did they fix it? Wasn't there a thing that if you got near a container, isn't that why we used to use that thing called seeding? Was the seeding thing ever... Did we ever get to the bottom of that? Because back in the day, right, if you went near a respawnable container, it essentially reset the clock, didn't it? You didn't even have to interact with it. Did that change in Alpha 17? Anybody in chat know what I'm on about? Reinforced wood now upgrades. So reinforced wood now upgrades to cobblestone, so there will be a more natural upgrade. Oh, beautiful. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. People are going to hate it, but I like that, dude. It always used to annoy me having to smack things down for the sake of smacking things down, dude. That's actually pretty cool, dude. So that means we can actually up... Oh, that's going to be really nice for POIs, guys. So if we live in a POI and we want to do the doer-upper game... What's that noise? Jesus, the girlfriend just came in. Oh, Jesus, I wasn't expecting her in. That really scared me. I literally just... You know when you just know there's someone else in the house? So we're going to go... So Smeton Wall's kind of built like that. I'm not saying this is where it is, but I just want to get a gauge for the height. Is that Master Smetanol in here? That's correct for height, isn't it? Because I only ever go 2. I don't know where to make it bigger and put arches in. Yeah, should we do something? Oh gosh, sorry, I just banged the microphone. I'm almost tempted to do archways. Like curved arches. What do you think? Or should we let's just stick to it simple? It makes no difference how high you make it, but I was just thinking about maybe putting like archways in, so this would be an arch, that would be an arch. Oh no, because then we won't be able to do the fidget spinner thing if we go down that route, will we? I kind of like the fidget spinner thing. That was actually pretty freaking cool. Arches would look nice, but then we can't do fidget shades. You know the Blade Trap edition. We sort of... Oh god, that bloody dog! Hang on. I kind of quite fancy getting to the point where we can put the fidget spinners in again. I just, for some reason, I just really had a lot of fun with that. I think I had too much fun with that, quite honestly. So, in theory, if we bring that back out of there... So, let me just go and put the nipples in. Yeah, we could. You're right. We could easily go 3 high. Yeah, absolutely. See, that is there, and then that, obviously, that's the half block, isn't it? Goes up there. So that would be a half block. In fact, did I just make a load of half blocks? I know this is going to have to come out because it won't be the right distance, I don't think, but... Really? going to be too far. I think it's one. Is it one block in for this? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So let's just drop those in there. Let's nerd pole up here. Let's just pop on another row. Because it would be... Yeah, that's right, isn't it? So if we put that on 1, 2. Should we just go for the 2? Then grab the corner blocks. Where the hell is that? Come on. Thank you. Now, I'm only going to bring that down to... In fact, didn't I put the shaped one in there last time? Let's just get rid of that. Oh, it's going to stay there now, isn't it? Sugar. I was doing that deliberate so I could knock it out. Of course, the other one's going to support it, isn't it? Damn. So yeah, sorry guys, I was just saying that would be really nice for a POIs. You know, the wooden POIs that a lot of us like to... Because I love the doer-upper element of the game. I think Joel much prefers making his own base, doesn't he? Which is kind of what we're going to do this time around. But I actually really like taking over a POI and using it and doing it up over time like we did last playthrough. I think there's a wonderful sense of satisfaction out of that. And even if you don't have to upgrade the whole thing, it actually means you've got a little bit more scope to stay in there as a horde base later on. You know, you can upgrade. Does that mean we can go all the way through to steel for upgrades? Or is it only wood will upgrade through? Not sure if I've missed anything in chat on that one. So that will be the jump. That will be the final block, won't it? Which is that fidget. Something feels wrong here. Something just feels like it's making more sense than last time we built this. What have I done wrong here? There's definitely something not right here, mate. We could still get the arch in that way then, couldn't we, look? But then the nipples ain't going to look right. They're just not going to look right, are they? There's no way around it. I don't think I can't. I'm not sure I'm happy with that. No, I can't do it. And that's why this is 3 and not 4. And that's why we get that other block coming in through here, isn't it? So I need to knock this out. God damn it. So cobblestone continues to concrete and so forth. So literally you can start off with a wooden frame and go all the way through, is what he's saying then, guys, yeah? As long as you've got the products in your inventory to just keep... Oh, I've got a load of water here, Shades. Do you need some of this water? I suddenly realised I think I took it all out. There's 6 in that other box, mate, in case you need it. I remember how we did that wonderful block that really just made the whole thing make more sense to me. We had a wonderful shape to the end of the Smetan wall, and I just can't think how it went. You do still have to do seeding. So basically, even if we leave this here, because we're at base, that will never respawn eggs, right? So yeah, I don't think there's any reason to worry about all of that. Oh, I know what it was. It was an... Oh, I know. I was thinking it was down here. It's base... that's all it is. That's all it is. It's the aesthetic. It doesn't affect functionality at all. It was purely an aesthetical change. It was one of these, wasn't it? It was just one of the triangular shapes, not the ramp. Oh gosh, where is it? Like a half block ramp, isn't it? Flagstone wedge tip, that's the one. Sorry guys, bit of a fanny about. But. So previously you could do that, but the side route over the iron blocks made no sense. So are we still getting iron blocks, or? You're right, Navarre. You've just started playing the Darkness Falls mod. It's hard, but pretty good. Sorry, I've got something covering up the chat there. I couldn't remember if you've ever played that one or not. No, never played it. In fact, the only mod I played in Alpha 17 is Ravenhurst. It was to be honest, mate. I'm not saying the others are good or bad. I mean, I'm sure they're all absolutely amazing, mate. But it was the only one that I kind of really tickled my pickle, really, mate. There's a lot of mods out there that it's like I said the other day to Greg, and it's not. I really hope people don't think I'm being disrespectful in any way, shape, or form. You know, we all play video games for different reasons. I like 7 days. I like vanilla 7 days. I always have done. It's the game that I always loved playing. And mods are simply an add-on to that when I feel that I just want to go and play the game but play something a little bit different. And I went through a bit of a honeymoon period playing things like Starvation, but even Starvation, as much as it was an awesome mod back in Alpha 15, it was a bit wacky, mate. You know, there were things in there that I didn't like at all. You know, rhinoceroses and things in the game. But back then, it was kind of like it was amazing. You know, we'd never seen anything like that. You know, Mortal Entus with his power mods and all that kind of jazz. And you know, I mean, like I said, I'm sure the mods are fantastic, but I like my vanilla. I don't want to do the Dishong challenge and all this kind of stuff. I'm sure it's a huge amount of fun for people that, you know, just want to keep playing the game and want a new experience all the time. But and that's why I played Ravenhurst. It's what I loved about Ravenhurst. Ravenhurst to me felt like in previous versions, I wasn't so happy with the building changes in the version that I played. You know, I've always been honest about that. That kind of was a change in a way too far for the likes of myself. But I think that was all changed anyway. But Ravenhurst always felt like more of vanilla. It always felt like spiritually it was in keeping with the vanilla game in many ways. And it was adding the icing to the cake, almost like, you know, the version the Fun Pimps could possibly look at making. Do we count that as a 5th nipple or not? I think we'll add one more nipple before we do the steps. And that's the only reason I haven't played the other mods, dude. You know, I just... It's not that I'm judging them or anything. I actually sometimes don't want to play a deviant of the base game. I actually still have to this day, and as you can see today, I have a wonderful amount of fun just playing the vanilla game, to be honest. It's... you know, I don't really want to play... You know, there are ones that I would never play, like Borderlands mod. I don't play this game to run and gun. But you know, for those folks that love that, you know, it's great they've got a mod out there to suit their needs. But yeah, I've heard very good things like Darkness Falls. I've heard good things about War of the Walkers. Seems to be an incredibly popular one. What else is there out there, guys? I mean, and I'm certainly also don't for 1 minute think I'm saying never either. I mean, I'd love it. I mean, if God forbid that Alpha 18 is it's a real, you know, change of direction for the Fun Pimps, and it certainly sounds like there's some fantastic stuff coming up that Gaz has just been talking about, then I will really look forward to playing through the vanilla game and then jumping on some mods, and maybe this time in Alpha 18 the base game will be good enough. I think this time around a lot of the mods for me, it didn't matter because Alpha 17 just wasn't good enough. You know, it's a wonderfully fun game, but it didn't excite me as much as previous alphas. And I think if Alpha 18 brings a little glimmer of that magic back day today in the vanilla game, I will really look forward to seeing what the mods can do. I mean, Gaz has just been talking about the infection systems. I'm sure the modders will be able to, you know, take that on board and do crazy things with it, you know? It's quite often I play a mod and all I can think about is I just want to go and play the vanilla game. There's something just about the vanilla 7 days game that appeals to me. You know, it's not too convoluted. It's not, you know, when people talk about difficulty in games, I always like chuckle. What do you mean by difficult? 7 days, you can play this game and never die. If you really want to play like an insane difficulty, there are ways to play this game. So you play it super safe. You never take a risk, and you play it like a true survival game. And but sometimes I don't want to play like that. Sometimes, you know, it's someone that streams the game 7 days a week, 7 hours a day. Sometimes I want to take my eye off the ball and go ham a little bit, and you know, have a day where I die. It's nice to die sometimes. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it though, Navarre. Yeah, I hope. I mean, maybe Darkness Falls. I mean, honestly, I really thought about playing a mod today. I really did think about it, and then I thought, well, you know what? Maybe I'd have more fun just setting up a multiplayer server, even if there's only like 1 or 2 people on here and there. You know, it's been a long time since I had a chance to experience this game multiplayer because I really disliked shared XP, mate. Really disliked it. That to me was a step too far. We really need to get a cooking station set up, don't we? Should we just make a little temporary campfire over here? Just for now. I know it's a bit risque, but... Dishong, yeah, I'm just not interested in the Dishong Tower. Just not interested in it at all. It's like I said to Greg. I mean, Greg loves it. Greg lives for that stuff. He absolutely adores it, and you can see him when he's streaming it. You know, he really enjoys it. It's not 7 days. It's not why I play 7 days. I play 7 days because of all the intricate parts that make it. All those wonderful little... There's so many mechanics in this game. And I've said this time and time again. 7 days is so far ahead of anything else out there because it's the coming together of so many systems. And then I think part of what niggled me so much about Alpha 17 in particular was I felt like some of the systems that were the bread and butter of this game got torn out. And they didn't need tearing out, in my opinion. They really didn't. Learn by doing. The wellness system, you know, you took a big part of the game away when they did that, in my opinion. Oh, it's the cooking pot for bacon and eggs. Of course it is. Oh, and hang on, I think Shade said she got another cooking pot, didn't she? Oh no. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do then. We'll go and take these, boil these up. So where's that? That's down here, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I was saying to Greg, I think in my own words, what I said to him was that if I'm having to create challenges in a game, I've probably come to the end of life for that game. Let me just get his phone call. I'm really sorry. I'll be straight back. And back. Yeah. So sorry, just before I forget my train of thought there, because I don't want to leave that one dangling, because it's again sometimes I'm acutely aware that I don't quite get my point across, and I don't want to make it sound like you know, I dislike things for the sake of disliking them. The Dishong Tower challenge is wonderful. I think that it literally is what makes this game amazing, that people can make their own mini games within it without even modding the game. You know, it's very much... See, Dishong Tower is the same way that I don't allow myself to use the trader. It's that simple. You know, the trader, I am only allowed to use the trader to sell either bills, so dollar bills, and I can convert them to tokens, or I can sell silver and gold and nuggets and diamonds, and that's the only, that and questing is the only way that I personally, on a single player run through, I'm allowed to make Dukes tokens. I can't sell anything else to the trader. And so I do the Dishong challenge. I just do it in a completely different way. I'm not trying to compare the two. It's just that it's self-imposed handicaps is all it is. And I think that defines this game, that we have the option to do that. It's just that the Dishong challenge is an isolated challenge, and I've got no real interest in that, because in order for me to play the Dijon challenge, I miss out on all the other things that I need to do. You know, I love the crafting, I love the exploring, I love the building the bikes and the horde bases and all the rest of it. It's not something that appeals to me, in the same way that people would not appeal in any way, shape or form not being able to use the trader. You know, horses for courses. And I think if I get to the point where I'm sort of minimising or cutting out... Again, we can relate this back to Ravenhurst with building. It's one of the issues I had with Ravenhurst, was that it was utterly, in my opinion, laborious to build. It doesn't matter if it was actually relatively simple. It was. All you were doing was really just constantly upgrading things. But, oh my God, it was tedious. It just felt like, oh, really? This is just a bit too much. You know, I've got to go back, I've got to make this, and I've got to go back, and I've got to do that, and then I've got to... Oh, it just... It boils down to that, I guess. It's... If you remove one of the key elements of this game... let me summarise. This game is way bigger than the sum of its parts, okay? That was the genius of Alpha 17. Sorry, 16. And to some degree, Alpha 17. You could take every single element that this game has got, voxel-based, crafting, combat, zombies, whatever it is, and you could throw them into another game. That game's always going to be inferior. This game bottled a little bit of magic. Somehow, all those systems created a synergy of mechanics that made this game truly unique, and learn by doing, and the wellness system and the way they were interwoven with so many other mechanics was what made this so special. And for me, the second you take something away from that, it's like a deck of cards that crumbles in on itself. And that's why Alpha 17 is barely playable for me from the core of 7 Days. You know, I still love the POIs, and I'm sure I'll still enjoy multiplayer play. But it was definitely a step away, because they pulled out some of the core. And like I said, doing the Dijon challenge for me is taking away too much of the experience for me to want to play. I enjoyed day one on a server, you know, single player. I don't want to play in an environment where I'm limited to what I can do. And then that's me just explaining my thoughts, just seeing as it's been brought up a couple of times. You like the spear and the starvation mod, boom popping heads. Yeah, I liked the cattle prod as well. The cattle prod was just so much fun. It was the only time I've enjoyed melee, because I used to cattle prod them and stun them. And we had that beautiful spark system, didn't we? All electrified, a little bit like they have now. And this was back in, what, Alpha 15? And then Tony Boy Blue, who we used to play a lot on the server with, he used to like just hack them to death with something. Do you want more arrow variety? I'd be up for that. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be fun. The sorcery mod is fun. Never heard of that one, actually, Midnight. Never heard of that. What's a modern version of Minecraft? This GPS or... Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Skyblock for Minecraft. Yeah. That's a really good way of looking at it. You can easily add that in if you want, Jags. Seriously, that's the easiest kind of thing to add to this. That's just a recipe, mate. It's super simple. You can do that in 10 seconds, mate. If you really want to make brass smeltable in the forge, it's... I've often thought about adding that back in. It's just that, unfortunately, although I have some of my own self-imposed rules about using the trader on a server, for example, people have got ways of making a huge amount of dupes tokens, mate. And let's all be honest, we all know the dupe glitches that still exist, so... You're currently working on the 1 million dukes token challenge. You're up to 600,000. There you go, you see. It's not hard to get them, is it? How long does it take you to get that lot, big guy? That's a lot of dukes tokens. You're right, Ed. How are you feeling now, Ed? How's like the general recuperation going? You miss getting... Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier, yeah. Learn by doing. Absolutely. It's... learn by do. What was the other thing I just mentioned? Learn by doing and the wellness systems are the two that really... I was saying... I mean, I said it right... I mean, we've already had this conversation in many ways, right at the start of today's stream. That was the stuff that when someone asked me about what the game's about, you know, what do you do in the game? What's the death penalty in this game? I was excited. I was... Oh, nice one. Thank you, Shades. I was excited to explain it. I felt like I got something to explain. Is that everything we need, Shades? I think technically that's enough for the first Horde Night, isn't it? Smetano, can I just get your final consensus on this? I know it's only the Smetan wall, but that should be good to go, right? And then we can mine of an evening down there. I think we're good to go, mate. We just need to get to bedrock then, don't we? I'm gonna go and get this water bubbled up, and then we should be good to. Yeah, it's actually a good start, Shades. I'm doing all right here, mate. Sorry, I forgot what I was talking about now. Yeah, that was, you know, when a new player came into the channel here, or I was talking to a friend about what I was playing. And honestly, I think it rubbed off on some people how passionate I was about. Oh right, yeah. Let me tell you about the death pen. Let me tell you what happens. And I don't get that anymore. I find it a lot harder to sell the magic of this game. Like I said, although I firmly believe this game is much bigger than the sum of its parts, and it felt a little bit like bottled magic. You know, lightning struck in the perfect spot and was bottled and captured in Harry Potter magic. Alpha 17 really ripped something. It really ripped a core part of the game out. And I personally have come to terms with that. The game is just a different game. And there's nothing I can do to change it. And I either walk away from it, or I just learn to adapt. And I have, and I love the POIs. I've learnt to love POI questing, and everything else now falls by the wayside, and I'm happy with that. It's not the game that I fell in love with, but it is a game that I absolutely adore, and there are things that make me rage. You know, the irradiated ferals when you get that sudden lurch in game stage and everything becomes a bullet spongy mess. That is always going to annoy me. But like I said, you know, if the game ever does eventually go gold, I can come up with some of my own tweaks, hopefully. Or a skilled modder who knows way more than I do will come up with a variant that suits me. And I'll have that game that I've already put 5,000 hours into. Well, actually more than that, but... Feed your minion. There's bacon and eggs being cooked, by the way. Shade's talking about food, and as well as bottled water over at the little food production outlet. I'm trying to think what I really want to do next. Did you want to mow the lawn, Shades? I just suddenly realised I was sitting there thinking, why does this look so bare? Have you got the lawnmower out, mate? We're making a nice barbecue area, Shades. Look. Right, okay, so we'll leave that for now. I mean, we can upgrade. I mean, we could upgrade to cobblestone, couldn't we? Let's throw everything back in the box. I'm just going to go and do a little. It's only 3:55. We're going to do a very quick scavenge before we go underground for the evening, I think. Now, bacon and eggs. Use that. What's that? You always do. It'll all be dug out anyway, Shades, if you remember. So what we'll do is I think we used to create something called the Grumbodian Killing Ground, and I think we convert this into a 4-pronged Smetan wall fort fuck it with 4 Alethian rings and a Grumbodian Killing Ground. It's going to be glorious, mate. It's going to be a work of freaking art, Shades. We hope. Get stuff sell. Oh, hang on. I'm just going to mute out really quick. Sorry about that. So it's right. The girlfriend's just she came back, which I wasn't expecting. So just picked herself up a little bit of a nibble. Right, we are going. Let's go up to. Let's do the next one. We've done the popper pills. Let's work our way methodically through that town, slowly but surely. You're right. Hello, Octoberly. You rolled back to Alpha 16. I couldn't help yourself. You missed it so much. Yeah, I've not been back to Alpha 16. I think from a visual standpoint, and more importantly, the POIs, I think I'd struggle now to roll back, if I was to be honest. I mean, I'd still have fun, but I think I'd miss too much of Alpha 17. Even though there's things I hate about Alpha 17. You know, I really hate about Alpha 17. I think, you know, it was 3 steps forwards and 2 steps back, but it was still cumulatively a step forward, if you like. It's what it was always meant to be, GPS. The Fun Pimps wouldn't take offense to that. In fact, they'd probably say thank you very much for the comment. I mean, the original concept, if you like, statement around 7 days when they sat down, was it Rick and Joel and another member? This is Rick and Joel are the brothers, aren't they? And another member of the team that sat down and says, we're gonna make a video game. And they said, well, what are we gonna make? And they said, we're gonna make Minecraft for adults with a sprinkling of Fallout. And I think I can see where they're going now. I think that, to be fair, with Alpha 17 and the implementation of the POIs and the questing, you can sort of see that vision for the first time ever becoming a reality. And you just oh yeah, with the farming midnight. Yeah, someone has mentioned that farming has changed. Now, I don't know how it's changed. I can't remember, but someone was in chat saying that they'd been privy to something with regards to farming changes. You're getting there. You've been in an awkward place where the lung surgeon doesn't want to do anything till your stomach is dealt with, and I can't progress with that for reasons that probably aren't appropriate for Twitch chat. Oh, so there's a bit more of a complication, is there, bro? I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, light at the end of the tunnel and just going to take a bit of time, mate, or... I hope it's all resolvable, sir. You're right, Freeze. The 4-way metal ring works well, eh? Yeah, actually, Shade's mentioned that you've got a video of it, actually. Smetanol. Sorry, Big K. You have not tested a killing ground, and I did not test on a multiplayer server. Yeah, I'll be interested to see how that all works out, wouldn't it? We'll see. We'll see. We probably really need 4 people to defend it, I would have thought, but not necessarily. Thank you for the bits, Paprika. Thank you very much for the bits, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Try and be reasonably quiet in here. I've had to turn my headset down a little bit because the girlfriend's just come back in. Now she's gone out, but she wants me to. She's opened the back door for the dogs, which I normally have it open anyway. But she wants me to go and close the door when little Toby starts barking for some reason. So God knows what's going on out there. The excuse to get another coffee, right? We'll watch Shades AFK dig a hole. So hang on, Grum, I came in to play. So you didn't realise you'd just been hired as a miner, did you, Shades? Wonder how Ice Captain's doing. I've not seen Ice for a while. I've seen him on Twitter. The great miner of Grumbodia. The man himself. Like Manic Miner. Oh god, that is some terrible shooting, bro. Oh, that looks like a dead end. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why do we not have a green bar for, if you like, string tension? Why do I just have a black bar? I'm sure that's supposed to feel green, isn't it? I've got dogs down here. Oh my god, what is the matter with your aim today, dude? I've definitely got a dog. Is he actually up here with me? I hope not. It sounds like he is, doesn't it? Well, he's not up there, so we're okay to loot for a moment. Thank you, Paprika. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much, sir. So you might have to have a second op. So that's almost like a second op just to have the main op then. Oh, I see, Ed. Bloody hell, mate. Hopefully, Ed. I don't know how serious it all is. Obviously, mate. I don't want to pry on a stream, but I mean, I hope at the end of it all, mate, you know, you get back on your feet fully and hopefully even better, mate. You know. Oh, look at that shared player XP 494. First time I've ever seen that. Must have missed that earlier. Because my girlfriend gives me lots of chores. She keeps me busy, mate. Yeah, she does. She does. I've got a lot to do this weekend. We had quite a bad water leak, burst pipe in the under the floorboards in the bathroom recently, and I'm still decorating every spare minute I can. Which at this day and age is literally a couple of hours here and there, mate. So yeah, I've got lots of chores. Lots to do this weekend. My dad is very poorly and he doesn't live in this city, so I'm travelling backwards and forwards trying to look after him as well at the minute, as best as I can. I shouldn't really say look after him. That would be implying I'd do a lot more than I'd... Well, there's only so much I can do, really. Not being there every day. I can hear. I think I can hear a little pooch barking. No, she wants me to bring them in. It's probably combine harvester, like at the bottom of the garden or something. It's gonna go out there. There's gonna be this white fluff sprayed all over the lawn. Has anyone seen Toby? No. How's the gaming front going then, Ed? Anything caught your fancy? You're not a Borderlands man, are you, mate? Seems to be the big one at the minute. Take care, GPS. Look after yourself. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Have a wonderful day. You're right, Raid. I was complaining to friends last weekend how the string tension bar stops working at some point when playing multiplayer. Don't know. It definitely happened in single player as well, mate. Now that you mention that, I remember commenting on it. And if I remember correctly, doesn't it sometimes work for stones though? Yeah, it's not working for anything at the minute. I don't know then, dude. It's a bit strange though, isn't it? That's another bug that's been introduced very much in Alpha 17. I certainly don't remember that happening in any of the previous alphas, or at least not to my recollection. I mean, it's not a huge issue, but it is something that you know. I think that almost summarises Alpha 17. There are some things that aren't a huge issue, but when they all are put together, it just feels like a step back almost, doesn't it? At times, it's infection doesn't work. We were talking to Gaz earlier about infection just literally not working at all in Alpha 17. You can't get infected. It's like, wow, you know, you've got a zombie game where you have, for example, quest rewards that give you herbal antibiotics, and you have crafting progression that involves getting antibiotics or manufacturing them, and drops, you know, important airdrops that hold supplies, including, you know, full-blown pharmaceutical grade antibiotics, but they're of no use to you whatsoever, really. Yeah, because you've got, if I remember, Ed, and I hope this isn't, I'll be careful what I say here, but you actually had issues with your lungs, didn't you? I remember speaking to you a long time ago about that, mate. Didn't you have, I don't know if it was a genetic thing, but didn't you have a very poorly lung, or a lung that wasn't quite doing the right stuff as a young lad? I seem to remember I was talking about rugby and pleurisy and things ages ago, Ed, and I seem to remember you saying something about that. You've never been a huge Borderlands fan, to be honest. I've been playing Gears 5. Oh, dude, Gears 5 is awesome. I've got my own sort of 1 month Game Pass code that I'm going to sort of cherish, like Willy Wonka's golden card, mate. And I'm going to do a whole month, I think, when that game drops, and I'm going to play a bit of Gears and a bit of whatever it is that'll make me sort of activate it. But who was it who posted it up in Discord? It was Dolphin, wasn't it? Dolphin posted up a 3-day pass or whatever it was, mate. And I'm not even sure if that was just an Xbox Live Gold, and I'd actually still got a couple of days on my old Game Pass. I'm not sure, but Gears is amazing, bro. I've always been a big Gears fan, but weirdly enough, I've never played Gears 3. I've never played Gears 4. And I've never played Gears 5. And I've never played Gears Judgment. It doesn't sound like I'm much of a fan, does it? But I loved Gears, mate. It's just so hoo-ha Henry. But Jesus, Gears 5 is spectacular, mate. I mean, I was playing on an Xbox One X at 4K, and oh Jesus, man, it's a visual tour de force, and it's everything. I always describe it almost like watching one of those CGI movies. You don't go to watch Transformers or anything like that to have an intricately woven plot and come out with great debates of discussion in the pub afterwards, do you? You just go there to sit back and forget about the world for a little bit. And that's what Gears is to me, mate. It's got tight gunplay, cheesy scripts, but with some cool characters. Everything's over the top. Times 10 multiplayer. Times 10 multiplier on everything. I got two cooking pots, Shades. I just did a really good loot run, mate. Let me go and pop that away. And yeah, I didn't know you'd like something like that, Ed. It goes to show, doesn't it, mate? It does go to show. And the multiplayer, oh wow, dude, freaking amazing, mate. Can't go wrong. Shotgun choke. Yeah, we'll be able to set up. If we can get down to bedrock, I wonder if I can get the next tier of what's it called, Shades? The next tier of crafting, tier 3. I don't know what level that is. It's probably quite high, isn't it? Tell you what, I'm just gonna wait there. You probably wouldn't have bought it if Microsoft didn't give it you for free, though, honestly, but it's really fun. Hang on, wait, that's unintentional. I always presume they just removed infection. No, it's just not working as intended. No, yeah. It was the same lung that had all the problems, born with some genetic. Yeah, got you. Jesus. Well, best of luck, Ed. I mean, I really do hope it's a speedy and full recovery, mate. It does. I said that I was talking about games a couple of streams back, Ed, and briefly this morning as well, about some games are just born to be played, and some games are perfectly adequate to watch. Nothing's going to beat actually playing a video game, but we know with the advent and success of streaming platforms like Twitch, I love watching certain games, and there are certain games that you just are never going to translate well. There is something about watching Gears that you're probably going to, you might drift off or think, yeah, whatever, it's not that exciting. But the actual day-to-day shooting mechanics, cover mechanics, and just the general just over-the-top manic chaos of Gears, it is just an experience like no other. It's... Now, the series has had its ups and its downs, although I haven't necessarily played Gears 3 and 4. I've had a little bit of hands-on with them, because friends, you do a level with a friend or what have you. But I've never sat down and played through the whole campaign of Gears 3 and 4 myself. But I followed, I guess the franchise quite closely, even if I've not got a huge amount of hands-on experience. But I mean, I played Gears 1 and 2 like to death, mate, absolutely to death. I keep thinking about that lady over here. I still haven't put a bedroll down, have I? You're right, mate. I'm going to pay a really hefty price for that one day, aren't I? I think I'm waiting until we hit bedrock so we can get like a little... It'd be nice to have like a little tunnel with our own little bed chambers and things down there. Maybe we could put one up on top on the platform. So how do I make better gear? Fine quality items. That's going to require what? 1 point. So I think I can make better... we're level 8 already, Jesus. What are they called? Axes, aren't they? Let's make a couple of stone axes. Right, there's a better quality axe coming your way, Shades. Let's do this. You didn't. I can imagine you looking at the first few minutes of a Gears game. Honestly, it's just thinking, yeah, rat's not my cup of tea, mate. Pop the kettle on. I'll go watch some Netflix instead. Thank you very much, Chris. There's some, honestly, it is. It's one of those games like force the controller into someone's hand and just let them feel what it, you know, the Lancer. You just shoot the Lancer, see what it feels like. It's the cover mechanics I like in Gears 5. It's so much, I don't know, it's, I think to say it feels more fluid, it's quite the understatement, to be honest. But then again, I haven't played Gears 4 even for a short spurt. Like I said, I've only got a few hours game time with it for a long, long time. We recently streamed Gears 1 and 2, didn't we? Well, I say recently, that was it earlier this year. There's definitely that they've definitely just made it feel. I don't think it's because it's more fluid. I don't know whether it's latency. It just maybe they've managed to get that controller latency just almost non-existent, perhaps, because it feels so much more responsive, I think, than it ever used to. And it's such a good looking game. I mean, it is. I mean, yes, I know there's a huge downgrade in terms of environmental destruction and all the rest of it. And yeah, I agree. You can't argue that. But in the mayhem of combat, does it really matter that much? You could argue to some degree. But if the trade-off is that fluidity, that sense of just being absolutely in control, then I think I'll take it, to be honest. 7 Days is actually named after the infection, not the 7-day horde. Where did that come from, Freeze? Well, that's always been my theory crafting behind it. Is yeah, it takes you 7 days to die after the infection. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the way I've always sold it to people. Yeah, it's amazing how many people come into chat here and say, well, it's day 21. So why is it called 7 days to die? And I'm never sure whether I'm being trolled, to be honest, mate. I think we might, Lady Alvera. I think we might. I think maybe we're gonna go for like a cross junction, aren't we? A crossroads up top. So I think if we can create kind of like that Fort Fuckit central tower with a mine shaft, and then have we could have. What about if we do an underground farm on one of the crossroads? They're always good to do. We've had a lot of fun building the spotlights for those. We could have living quarters on the opposite side. We could have a crafting side, and we could have a storage side. Now, that's not optimal for efficiency of crafting, but it would still make for an interesting build, wouldn't it? And then what we could... Oh, and then what we'll do on, say, like, the northern face, we'll put a drawbridge access down into a car park garage, which then stems... So think of the crossroads as being equidistant, but the northern side will be a double pod. And the primary pod will be a ramp coming from a drawbridge access down into a parking bay, and then the primary pod, which will be the first one off the crossroads, will be the storage area. So you drive in, close the drawbridge, carry on down the ramp, park up, take the loot out, drop it into storage, carry on into the central hub, and from there you can either go dead ahead into the sleeping area, left for crafting, all right for, well, yeah, well, whether it be left or right, we're getting into details now. But yeah, the 4 bays, and the fifth bay will be the primary parking area. What about that? I feel like you're making me give you a schematic, an architectural plan here, Lady Elvira. I feel like I'm going to have to commit now. The whole way it plays, it feels really nice. So we'll put a picture on the wall, second block in, third block down, kitchen sink just in the corner. 4 kitchen cupboards. 1 for peas. The whole way it plays feels really nice. Some games I find it just feel awkward to do what you want. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's definitely something they've refined. I think it's something that I've always said Bungie, for example, have nailed. They, even if you don't like Destiny, if you've ever played Destiny, there is something inherently awesome about the way that plays. End of story. It's, you don't have to like the game to admire the genius behind how they've created it. You know, the sense of weight, but also momentum that the characters have. The tightness of the aiming mechanics, whether it be on mouse, keyboard, or even on controller. You know, it's just something that Bungie have always done really well. Even if you don't like the games themselves, you know. Because I'm not a massive fan of Halo. But it's more because I don't like the antagonists. I'm just not a big fan of them. Whereas, give me the Locust in Gears, and I'll kill those little buggers all day long. Same with the Hellghast in Killzone. I love killing those things. The 7th Day to Die. We're gonna rebrand it. You could do with a rebranding. I still say 7 Days to Die is the most terrible name for a video game. That's it. Lady Elvira's taking screenshots here, Shades. You said you were gonna build. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I think we're gonna struggle to get 4th of October Alpha 18 up and running at this rate, Lady Elvira. The Great Elvira Project, we'll call it. Base Camp Elvira. What are we digging for? Mainly because it's night time. And at night time, early on, it's nice just to catch up, we chat, but still be productive and get a swig of the coffee. Later on, we'll be hunting at night. But this is a nice way to get the base reagents we need. The base crafting reagent, which is stone, basically. And we'll hopefully get a little bit of iron. We still get a little bit of XP for doing this as well. So it all works in our favour. And then in the daytime, we can do some scavenging, some base building, and let's pop. That all looks suspiciously like gravel, doesn't it? So yeah, it's really a mixture of various things as to the. It's because the primary shaft here will go down to bedrock. We always. Oh, well, that's going to take us. You got any idea how far we've got to go? Shades. We have got a long way to go here, mate. I tell you. This is where I find out I could make a pickaxe, right? How do we make always pickaxe? Oh, hang on, level 10. We're only 2 levels away from level 10. We can make a forge and get some iron pickaxes up and running. Is anyone else excited for tomorrow's Switch release of the remake of The Legend of Zelda? You know what, Paprika? If I could afford it, I would seriously be considering it. I am a massive fan of the Nintendo Switch. I really do love the console. It's a wonderful bit of kit, mate, and it's a very, very good friend of mine when I'm commuting and traveling around. And I've been recently playing one game, because I only have really one game on the Switch, and that's Titan Quest, which is a very old PC ARPG, and it is amazing. It feels like I'm playing on a portable computer. They've done an amazing job of the port. And that particular Zelda game, it is truly, truly a love of mine. I seem to remember that being a Game Boy game, and I think I went on holiday with my dad, and I just had this, it's like I said about Final Fantasy VIII a few times. Sometimes a game isn't an amazing game in your memory because it was an amazing game. It's an amazing game because it was a great game, played in a great environment, maybe with some great friends at a great point in your life. And I think we've all had games like that. Yeah, I think if you're a gamer who plays games regularly, you will always have that memory of something, that one game that stands out, because yeah, the game was great, but it was who you were playing it with, and that point in your life when things were going well, or even the flip side of that, you played a game because life wasn't so great, and that game got you through a tough time. And I must admit, that Zelda game, it just brings a smile of memories, and being on holiday with my dad. Because I only got to see him at the weekends and things. And, once a year I'd get that, it'd always take me away somewhere. And I'm sure that was when I got Link's Awakening. And I remember coming back. I mean, obviously playtime was somewhat limited because we were on holiday. But I seem to remember coming back. And I've got this freaking this game that was just like so... God damn, you went and got... It was such wonderful progression with it, You'd go through an area and you'd see that crack in the wall, and you knew later on you'd be coming back because you'd get the bombs, and
I mean, I'm careful what I say because obviously I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I'm sure anyone that has played a Zelda game knows the mechanics of Zelda. That upgrade moment when you get that next something that enables you to go back to an already visited area and go and see how further in the dungeon goes. I loved it, dude. I thought the mechanical hook, the gameplay loop of Zelda was just brilliant, mate. And it looks amazing. The reboot is gorgeous, dude. It is exactly what I mean. I don't think I could come up with something that would. I couldn't articulate what I'd want it to look like, but I genuinely believe they nailed it, dude. That looks absolutely stunning. The vibrancy of the colors, the 3D art, the way just the way Link moves around is just awesome, mate. If you're getting it, I really, really would love you to come and give us a little quick review, dude. I really would. Looks amazing, bro. Looks amazing. That actually came from Joel way back when. Plus, the 7-day hordes didn't exist in early versions. It was pretty much every night some form of horde appeared. Was it really, Freeze? I only played back in Alpha. Oh, when did I pick it up? Alpha 5, I picked it up. And to be honest, I don't remember a great deal about the game in terms of the day-to-day mechanics. I mean, obviously, I remember the old Minecraft-style crafting of, you know, tools and products and things. You know, in that big, what was it, like an 8x6 screen or whatever it was. So I remember things like that. I don't remember Horde Night not being every 7 days. I didn't know that, dude. That's something I wasn't aware of or had conveniently forgotten. You're right, so Zelda Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf's fight, when he goes through the pictures. the Zelda games were so good, dude. They were so good. I mean, I did play Breath of the Wild on stream. That's the other game that I own. Breath of the Wild and Titan Quest. And I had a lot of fun with it. There were definitely things that I didn't like about that, though. I was not a fan of, in particular, the weapon durability degradation. I felt like sometimes I would find that weapon that I felt like was going to be a lot of fun, but in a matter of minutes it was broken and I'd be using a piece of junk again. That really, really took away my enjoyment. I wasn't a fan of that. I will stay here tomorrow and dig. I will tear it down again later, Grub. What's that? You got me intrigued now. I want to know what you've built. Do you have a spare drink? Yeah, of course. Just help yourself. It's all in the chests, mate. Yeah, there's loads of stuff. Oh, that's a handy little cooking spot. Here, I'll pop them in. Oh, I say I have. There you go, mate. I'll have a cheeky extra. Oh yeah, do you need food? There's a I have blueberry pie as well. I found that. It's only about 6 days old, mate. Honestly, just scrape the mold off the top. You'll be fine. Think of it as a bonus antibiotic as you're chowing down. Just slurp the mold back. I'm just trying to see if did Paprika say in case anyone missed the trailer. So hang on, is it definitely released tomorrow then? Is that a worldwide release? Oh god, dude, that's gonna. I'll tell you what, I can't wait. Has it been reviewed? I mean, it'll be interesting to see what mainstream journalists make of it. From the Alpha 9 patch notes, changed hordes are smaller in general, but except every 7th day. They are super nasty. Wow, I didn't know that, Freeze. That's crazy. So, I mean, like I said, I played, I'm sure it was Alpha 5 was my first beginnings with the game. So I have actually played a version of this game where we didn't have a horde night every 7 days. Isn't that mad? Wow, that's crazy. That's mad. You think it's amazing, but tell me they added something of substance to it. Why? It's just a remake. We don't want to recreate Genius, dude. You're right, Genie, babe. she's, you know, she might get infected, even though infection's not in, but don't tell her that. My dad was a bit like that, Sol. In fact, my dad still is like that. He'll have stuff in the freezer. And I kid you not. I mean, I honestly, to say this is an exaggeration, not at all. He's pulled out bits of lamb from the freezer that has got to be going on 8 years old, mate, and eating it, and never had a day's ill health from that. Oh, no way, dude. Just no way, no way. Not in a bazillion years.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Genie Babe. What about yourself, mate? How are you getting on? Yeah, I remember that freeze. Yeah, I've played that. In fact, we've mentioned that a couple of weeks back. Yeah. We had quite a lot of fun with that one, dude. It could be a lot of fun. That's an interesting post, Shades. That's what we call casual mining, look. Just one hand on the old car flop, just, you know, chilling out, the old Peaky Blinder. I think I'll just sit here and watch you work for a bit, mate. I'll drink my coffee. Does he also leave cheese out on the kitchen counter and keeps eating it for weeks? Well, he doesn't leave it out, but he will eat cheese that has got mold on it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. We're not related, are we? I was just say. I just see you say exactly the same thing. That's sod's luring it. Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah. What's the other thing? Things like Weetabix. Apparently, Weetabix and stuff will never go old because it's like dried food goods. So you can have a Weetabix that's like 3 years old. It's not in a Tupperware box. It's just in, you know, the Kellogg's box, and yeah, just eat it, mate. You got me thinking now as well about other things. Cheese, bread, frozen. Apparently, if it's frozen, it lasts forever. Like straight up legit. What really worries me is I know for a fact that when the house got flooded, not my house, his house, that freezer obviously became operational for at least 48 hours. So at some point, I mean, it's a chest freezer, but it would still have started thawing, right? So that lamb has actually been through a kind of thawing and refreezing process. He's a very strange man. But I guess this is the point, though. When you're brought up during an era where... I mean, you got to remember, my dad was brought up in a pretty rough part of Brum, and you know was sent. You know, you're not going to school, lad. You're off out to work, and I suppose when you're brought up where literally getting a fucking piece of bread and cheese, you know, is a fucking luxury. I guess you do grow up not wasting stuff. I mean, I mean, how much food do you honestly throw away that you could eat? I know I do. The girlfriend's terrible, absolutely terrible. Oh, God, that's better. I needed that. That's a very nice cup of coffee as well. But yeah, you know, we were talking about this a while back again, weren't we? I mean, when I was at when I was studying, and we used to nip over the supermarket, and the amount of food they would throw into the bins at the end of the day, especially on like a Saturday evening or a Friday evening, we used to rummage through it all. It's, I mean, it was all packed up. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Perfectly functional loaf of bread. You know, yeah, it was a day out of date, or would have been out of date at the end of the day. But there's nothing the matter with it, is there? Waste not, want not, right? I think that summarises our entire sort of culture these days, and certainly in the UK. I can't speak for other countries, but everything's disposable. Everything's designed to have a lifespan, so that you then have to go and buy another one. I mean, I'm sure I remember, like, back in the day, like, my mum and dad sort of arguing about fixing the washing machine. No one fixes a washing machine anymore. You get the council to come and pick it up, and you order a new one from Argos. Because it's cheaper. You've only got a bloke or a lady comes around to look at your washing machine. It's going to cost you more than buying a new washing machine, isn't it? It's ridiculous. It is. It's a scary time that we live in. I'm not sure what to do now today, Shades. Food. Now, I did put some bacon and eggs back over at... I suppose I'm not really going to need the shovel, am I? I'll take that back with us in case we see any critters. Pop those in there. We've got some bottled murky water. We've got that. Let's go and stock up on... some more water in there. Yeah, there's meat stews. Oh, actually, I'm going to eat one of those. Yeah, we're looking all right. The only thing that worries me is I haven't seen any animals for a couple of days now. It's Horde night tomorrow as well. Bloody hell.
Yeah, let's go there. What's it? The butcher sold it with furry bits on it, Dad. I'm trying to think. There's something else that's really niggly. Oh, that was it. It sort of popped into my head. Cordial. Robinson's cordial. My dad's got a bottle of straight up legit, right? Bottle of Robinson's cordial. Yeah. I can only describe the bottom of it as some sort of like coagulated orange paste. So, like, if you wanted a glass of it, by all means, you could shake it, but there would definitely be about a centimetre plus in the bottom that is just pure, condensed, sort of putrefied orange concentrate. And the actual inside of the Robinsons, because it's so rarely used, for obvious reasons I'd like to point out. Oh, hang on, there's no snow here. What happened to all the snowballs? Oh, bloody hell. I must have left. What the hell? I need a shovel, don't I? Yeah. So imagine there's like black rings. So because like you pour a little bit out, and then it wouldn't get used again for 3 months. It would kind of settle. So there's like this black orange sort of rings going down the bottle. It's and that's still in his pantry, as he calls it. Straight up legit, mate. I don't think he. I don't think he throws anything away. Like nothing. Now that I think about it, it explains a lot actually. Now that I'm sitting here thinking it all through. You're right, Dio. You fixed your washing machine about a month ago for a tenner, and a bit of research. Then had to be a sensor I could have got off on. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be things that you can fix. I mean, 9 times out of 10 though, you don't actually know what it is, do you? And they're kind of built now, so it's actually very hard to take them apart. I tried to take our tumble dryer apart. And it was a lot harder than it sounded. And like you said, I mean, I couldn't afford a new one. So it was a repair job all weight. And basically, it boiled down to three potential components. But if I got those components straight up legit off eBay, there was a very good chance, because I didn't know where it was, I would have been hazarding a guess between 3 different little electrical oojimy-watchimy calls it. It could have cost me like 90 quid, dude. And even then, there was no guarantee it was going to bloody work. So, in the end, it was like, off down the council tip you go, mate. I couldn't afford the risk, you know. I can't... It was a gamble that I wasn't willing to take, to be honest. Right, cook that. Why can I not cook that? Recipes, bottled water. Oh, because I'm trying to make murky water out of it, that's why. Okay, and then let's just pop those in there. We'll have a cheeky bacon and eggs. We'll take that lot back over for shades. Okay. Yeah, don't forget, if you do want to join us on the server, just do what we said earlier. Just go to the server access section on Discord and just pop in the stats copy paste along with your Steam name, and we can get you in. Obviously, you know, if 20 people want to get in, we can't. The server's not that big. But Chicks, thank you for the prime, sir. The great blade maker here in Grumbodia, the man who can craft. We had a right old chat about you yesterday afternoon, Chicks. I'm going to assume you weren't around, but yeah, we were talking about your charity event and what it was like to watch your streams, etc., mate. It was all very positive, sir. So yes, thank you very much. Thank you for the 33 months of support, and thank you for being you, mate, as well. And please don't post any of those pictures again. I took a look at it. I was on my phone, Chicks, right, and I thought, oh, Olivia looked beautiful. Oh, what a little bouncing bundle of joy. And then I thought, he's holding her in a very non-loving manner. That's not the way you'd hold your child, is it? You'd hold them close and hug them and protect them. And it looked very much like you were about to drop her off a balcony, mate. So I thought I'd zoom in a little bit, thinking, what am I missing? Is there an expression I can't see? And then I realised, mate, just exactly the true horror of what you discussed in Twitch chat. I was lost for words. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. I mean, if you literally painted someone in poo as some sort of weird fetish, you couldn't get more poo on them, could you? It was disgusting, mate.
Jesus Christ. That has got to have been, I mean, Jesus Christ, parenthood. I mean, there's a point where enough's enough, right? There is truly, I mean, it was green. I mean, for those who haven't seen it, I mean, it's worth joining our Discord. Exclamation mark Discord in chat. You're all more than welcome. There is a picture of a child that, that looks like they've been rolled around in what I can only describe as a green milkshake. I can assure you, it was not a frothy milkshake. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think someone suggested what was it? A power washer. Imagine little Olivia out in the back garden with chicks racing around her with a bloody jet wash. Put her in the car wash, mate, next time. I'm getting confused what I'm doing, Shades. I don't know what I'm doing here, mate. God. Yeah, all right. We need some more arrows. I'll tell you what, let's go and do a little scavenge run. Let's go and do a scavenge run. We'll make another... Well, hang on. Let's not go crazy. Oh, no. No, it's Horde Night, isn't it? Yeah, we'll need quite a few. Then there should be plenty of food in the boxes, Shades, if you need any. You're right, Ravanius. How you doing, mate? How's things? How's Greenfall going, dude? You're right, yeah. We got fancy used washing and drying machines. They have some LED readouts for settings and such, and luckily it also gives faults. Oh, you jammy git! I don't get such luxuries with Argos purchased machinery. That's actually really cool, Dio. I mean, to be fair, mate, that's excellent. That is excellent, and congrats on it working out as well. Because, like you say, you never know. You're right, TV. How are you doing, mate? The joys of being a parent. Oh man, it was brutal. That was brutal. But yeah, he has got the night cam he's got. Oh, that's amazing. I don't think I've ever really seen that sort of before. You know, actually watching, like, it's actually, you know, watching I guess a baby, you know, in the middle of the night it can be wide awake, and it's not necessarily wide awake just to start screaming because it's hungry. And there's something like really nice watching that. It was, you know, all comfy in, you know, Olivia's little cot and, you know, tugging at her little toes. She looks so content and happy. You got a wonderful life in front of her, hasn't she, with a mom and dad like that. Right, let's... did we actually clear all of that out? I'm not sure if we did. That's going to be a quest POI, isn't it? Ooh, a cracker book. Now, to be honest, cracker books are not... Oh, hang on. Cracker books are not really that useful, are they? Maybe working stiffs would be better. Let's go and have a look at that one. Greedfall is enjoyable. I'm thinking of leveling a priest on your server group unless my brothers can convince me to stay. Yeah, someone... to be honest, they mentioned that Pixie made a character on Pyrewood, so I did ask if you were coming over for a bit, dude. And we had some weird news earlier, Ravanius, because I was kind of expecting Alpha 18 to drop this weekend. I think a lot of us were hoping it would drop. I shouldn't say expecting. And it's essentially now not going to happen until October the 4th at the earliest, so... Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, Mojo. I think Mojo mentioned that. Yeah. Mojo spent about 5+ hours yesterday trying to tame the Black Lion in the Barrens. And I still don't know if he's trolling me, but I'm starting to think he probably isn't. And he actually was that obsessed with getting it that he actually sat in his chair and had a wee urination into his Dr. Pepper bottle because he didn't want to risk losing the spawn, which takes World of Warcraft taming to a whole new level, doesn't it? I'd like to point out he never did that when we played Ark. Although then again, maybe he did. Maybe he just had a bucket. I always thought it sounded rather moist whenever he was on the microphone. But yes, so it's like he said, I don't think he's called his cat Dr. Pepper, but I think it should become compulsory, and I think we should start a small hashtag petition to make sure the Black Lion of Grumbodia is indeed called Dr. Pepper in honour of the great taming trauma that Mojo went through. Or should I say that we've gone through as a community. I'm sure there's no one here that will ever be able to drink another Dr. Pepper again without thinking of Mojo scratching his balls while urinating playing World of Warcraft. I mean, that's a whole new episode of South Park waiting to be made, really, isn't it? The things that man does. I tell you what, he's a committed man, Mojo. He's a committed man. When he's on your side, mate, you can do no better, I tell you. He's a man you can trust him. Dr. Salty. He did. Wow, this place is cool. Oh, did I, we can actually get a little bit of cobblestone out of that, can't we? Yeah, well, I think, to be honest, I think he actually has been spent, I'm not sure, like I said, I'm sure he's not exaggerating, but 12 hours total over the course of a couple of days. Oh, shite, I know where, oh god, I've just suddenly clicked where I am there. That's a hell spawn if you're not careful. I quite often have been bum rushed around that one side. I really should go through the main entrance. Unless this has changed, but this as an old POI used to be a nightmare. Dickie, thank you very much for the 20 months, my friend. And thank you again to Chicks for the 33 glorious months. Thank you very much, Dickie. How are you doing, sir? How's this week treated you, bro? We're on Thursday. We're getting there, aren't we? Yeah, there's one up there. I'm sure there's a load around the corner that'll bum rush you. Don't think anyone can come from behind. He's not dead, is he? Oh, come on, really, bro? I'm expecting that one to wake up on top of the turtle he has. Bloody hell. Jeez, man, that is a lot of bloody arrows, mate. Craziness, sir. Craziness. Make sure. Yeah, I was going to say, I just remember this era. I think we've probably been here typically when the game stage has been a bit high enough. I've been bum rushed out of multiple angles. Got the white. To be honest, I don't really remember much about the taming elements. I do remember having the black cat barons. The thing I do remember is grinding for a particular mount. Is it? Oh gosh, what the hell? Jesus, where did that just come from? Oh god, that's a dead end. Oh balls. Oh no, what do you have to be? Oh no, dude, Jesus balls. Can't get back out of there, can you? I need these to die. Oh, I forgot enough arrow. Oh shit, we got a problem, mate. Axe to the wall, Grummy. Keep thinking there's something coming from that left-hand side. On earth back there, look. Whoa, what just happened? Why's my screen just gone funny? I'm bleeding, that's why. Oh, when you're in that mode, it also doesn't show the status effect either, does it? Ah, now that could have cost me. So there's another reason not to do that, even though it does feel awesome. There's a lot of zombies in here, isn't it? I was right to be a bit more cautious. I didn't realise just... I broke the #1 rule of 7 days, which is always to have an exit strategy, isn't it? Whenever you jump in or through. Well, we survived and we got some XP, and the arrow situation isn't too bad. We got quite a few back, so... Clever little POI. I think you can jump out of here, can't you? I think you can make it, yeah. But I didn't want to risk it for a biscuit and get cornered. A bit rusty with some of these older POIs. I'd like to know, even though I stuck around for almost the entire time as well, I did not pee into a bottle. I'm not sure. I don't know if I believe you, mate. I'm not sure whether this was actually a brotherly pact that Mojo was simply epically failed on. I reckon you both sat there going, look, I've got to go. And you were saying, I've got to go as well. It says, we can't both go together, mate. Have you got any receptacles? To which you went, I've only got an ashtray. And Mojo, well, I've got a Dr. Pepper bottle. And that was where the pact was signed. An oath to remain silent forever. But Mojo just couldn't contain himself. He was so proud that he managed to get his little wee tinkle into the top of a Dr. Pepper bottle. That he couldn't stay quiet. I reckon we've managed to dig the truth out of you here, Chaos. You alright, Tax up? How you doing, bro? You found out there's an interesting cooperative survival game called 1 Hour, 1 Life. All people that exist in your game are real people, and lifespan of a person is 1 hour. Right, okay. Nearly a full bike. What have we got? Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, we only need a couple of tires. Oh, Jesus, that's a really good point. Oh, we've got bike shades. We can... we can go BMXing together. Oh, it'd be great. Ah, it's going to be amazing. Is there anywhere I haven't been? I feel like I've gone around in a circle and missed something important. I don't think there's anything else down there. Bell end. Oh, I know this. I'm not doing that. There's dogs in there. I think every time I've ever been in there, there's been a dog pack, and I'm encumbered. So let's go and get our loot back, and then we can revisit when my bags are not loaded. Good. Pleased to hear it, Tax up. I don't see a survival game taking off if its whole gimmick is you only live for 1 hour. It was I was expecting more from... I'm sure he's still typing. It didn't exactly sell me on the game. But this cracking multiplayer survival game. You only survive for 60 minutes no matter what. Is that okay? Seems legit. So it's a sort of simulation of prehistoric people. There's a tech tree that your village works towards. You respawn if there are infants. What? So basically, it's a shagging simulator, is what you're trying to say. I don't think this is Twitch suitable, dude. I think you're on the wrong part of the internet here, mate. Disgusting, sir. Look, here he goes. Look, you have to have children to continue respawning. Jesus, it's on one of those weird. They're popping up everywhere, aren't they, these days? I don't know what's happened and what my search history is on Google, right? But obviously, incognito mode ain't working anymore. Not on the masturbation portable tablet, anyway. But everywhere you go, there's like sex games, mate. And what's that Tinder thing? Popping up everywhere, bro. I don't have like one of those, what's it called? Anti-thingy-majinglies advertisement thingies on my tablet. It's an old tablet. None of them seem to work. You'll only last 2 minutes. What? What's that? I'll only do what, mate? Come visit.
You will only last 2 minutes.
Wow, there's a challenge and a half. That fucking hell. That only normally lasts more than 30 seconds. Got a whole minute and a half to make a cup of coffee. What a waste. You just kiss and children appear. That's the way it works in real life, isn't it? It's the way it was taught to me. Don't kiss the girls and don't kiss the boys. Otherwise you'll have babies. If you kiss a boy, you have a boy. If you kiss a girl, you have a girl. That's the way it always works, isn't it? Come out your belly button, apparently. We did all right there, actually, Shades. In fact, you know what? I got a nice little bit of shotgun ammo. That hole's looking lovely, darling. What a jolly, jolly nice hole we've built. Or you've built, should I say. So yeah, we have most of the parts for a bike, apparently. Ooh, mufflers as well. I don't think I've got any armour that'll fit in, have I? God damn it. Right, we've got torches. Pop that back. Is there anything you need, Shades? Do you need, like, food, sustenance, equipment? A break, perhaps? 12:33. Should we go back and loot some more? Because yeah, in fact, where are we looting? I don't know which one it is. I think we, yeah, let's go there. I'm not sure if we actually finished the other one. You're right, Dragoness. How you doing, mate? Well, you could kiss them. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Who knows, Dragoness? Who knows where it could all end? The wonders of copulation in the human race, mate. Just go back to WoW, where the only elf dance is the most sexual thing you'll see in those block graphics. I can't handle it, mate. I can't handle that. I've got a big sheet of cardboard, like on a bit of sellotape. The sellotape acts like a hinge, and as soon as I see night elves dancing, I quickly flick it over, mate, so I don't have to look at their wicked, wily, taunting ways, mate. All them hips gyrating and buttocks thrusting and those ears dangling. It's just too much for a little grump. I can't handle it, mate. You take care, Lady Elvira. You rest up, mate. Where were we, guys? Where was I actually, like, looting? Does anyone know? I seem to remember being over here. I must have deviated from the plan. Or was it this one? Oh, no, it was. Yeah, home cooking. Yes, it's all right, yeah. Because we didn't get onto the... Oh, no. No, we did do the roof. So it can't be that one. How are you doing, Dragoness? How's the emotions today, knowing that we have to wait until at least the 4th, or until the 4th of October? Did you cry a little bit? I felt a little bit sad when I read it. I was like, oh no. Oh no. I wanted it to be here tomorrow. Alas, 'twas not to be. Right, stash 1 there. Let's work our way down this road then. We've done the pop and pills. We've done home cooking. I can't really go... So that's probably why I avoided this in some ways. I would have seen the cracker book, wouldn't I? And thought, well, that's a quest POI. So I don't really want to be going in there. And then we probably came down this way. So I'm guessing it's one over there. I must have seen something that caught my eye. But it wouldn't have been down here, mate. Maybe it was down that way. You're right, Linear. How are you doing, mate? How's things? That maybe? I actually don't know what we were doing. I'm actually a bit lost. That place I have a horrible feeling is going to have landmines all over. Let's carry on down this road and sort of loot things as we go. Nope. We might as well clear it. We do need to make sure we've got plenty of arrows for Horde Night. How does the Horde work in multiplayer? I'm still not entirely convinced that you don't kill. It's a finite number of zombies, right, in Alpha 17. So if there's 2 of you in close proximity, does it double the amount of zombies coming at you? Or is it a slightly more complicated formula than that? Oh, really? Alright, thanks, Linear. Yeah, not too bad. Very tired today, mate. Really tired. I didn't manage to get any shut-eye last night. I had work and I had to visit to see my dad. He was a little bit less than okay yesterday, mate. So tired, but, you know, enjoying a bit of cheeky 7 days, mate. Yeah, I think that's probably the exact same stance they're taking internally, I think, Dragoness. They really can't have... I mean, I'm not going to be overly dramatic about it, but I think they themselves probably want this release to be a lot more robust than the Alpha 17 one. And we've waited this long, haven't we? It's like someone in chat said earlier, you know, we had the same kind of tentative, oh, it'll be here on X date last year, and we had to wait all the way through to December in the end, and it still was a bit of a higgledy-piggledy mess, wasn't it? I should imagine internally, like, they really want to, you know, I guess for them, it's not about proving it to us as players. I keep saying, you know, at the end of the day, we're not even fresh cash to them, are we? You know, they don't really... You know, that being horrible, I'm sure they don't really care about anyone that's already bought the game. It's about the new blood that's going to buy the game fresh and put another 20 quid in their pocket or whatever. But I think for their own peace of mind, that they're probably really eager to say, you know what, look, things didn't go quite according to plan. But look, check us out. We're the fun pimps. We know what we're doing. A little bit of... self-confidence, a little booster. I'm so gonna die if anything races at me here. Look at that, one amateur. I just leapt into here with like basically 0 stamina then. So we get twice the amount. So twice the amount active on screen. So if it would have been 8, it's now 16. And on top of that, we also get twice. Wow. So essentially, we get the full double horde. Wow. Okay, mate. Thanks for that. I'm not looking forward to that at all. We've got a small theory of the limited styles of Zed's cloning mishap. You're going to have to explain this one, Dragoness. It sounds like someone's put a lot of thought into this. That's right. Maybe October the 4th. Exactly. The earliest it will possibly release will be October the 4th. But I think that's the best way for us to look at it. Any word on bandits? Yeah. Alpha 20, apparently. Joel did another video, which is up on the development YouTube channel that went out, I think, yesterday. And it's a brand new fresh start. I think it's like on day, I don't know, 13, 14, whatever it is. And there was a YouTube comment by one of the viewers saying, I think, to quote or to paraphrase as best as I can, any update on the NPCs? And the development account responded saying, yes, we're working on it, but you're not going to see anything until Alpha 20. It wasn't quite word for word there. In fact, I elaborated a reasonable amount, but that's essentially what was said, So yeah, I mean, you know, possibly. What the hell? Where did you just come from? You'd like to see tameable wildlife. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Animal husbandry has always been something that a lot of the mods have enjoyed doing. I mean, again, you know, quite often when we talk about cool ideas like that, we always end up talking about starvation again. Starvation had animal husbandry. I could actually go and capture... What was it? We had pigs... cows, sheep, and we could capture them and we could put them in a pen together and we could feed them, and a little bit in a Minecraft style they would breed, and you would actually get a, you know, these were assets. This was a cow wandering around and you would get a baby cow, and you could even milk the cows. You could hit the cows with a bucket and they would give you lovely frothy milk. So yeah. The 4th is a stream weekend, so the rest of us get it on the 7th. That's it in a nutshell, Dio, yeah. that. I think to actually quote what has been said that we should be saying to people, but for those people that are on the stream team, is it's feel free to tell you know your communities that they are currently targeting October the 4th. You know that's when they'd like to release it at present, given the current bugs that they're still trying to fix. Apparently nothing massive, but you know they want to get it right. And some of them are going to TwitchCon, and Gaz was in chat earlier saying, and also you know in respect of streamers and content creators that want to go to TwitchCon, which wasn't mentioned on the forums, but you know there's it from the word, you know, straight from the horse's mouth. You know, it's they didn't want to release that TwitchCon weekend, and quite rightly so. I do support that. It's not so much from the streamer point of view, but more from the Fun Pimp's point of view. You know, if some of the devs want to go to TwitchCon, I'd rather not see the release that weekend. We want them on standby to make sure the Monday morning public release goes ahead as planned. I think it would be really bad for them if the streamer weekend goes a bit wrong and they can't release on the Monday morning. That would be bad. But there is no spinning that publicity. There's always already enough animosity against content creators getting it over the weekend. You know, well, I paid the same as they did. Why should I not get it as well? I should imagine they very much want to make sure the stream team weekend is what it's meant to be. It's a chance to get some publicity out there and hype it up, ready for Monday morning, isn't it? Wow, nightmare POI, mate. There's a Shamway we could hit, but I am already encumbered. We've got the drop box just down there, haven't we? But I'll tell you what, we might as well just hit home. We're close enough, aren't we? What's that sex sim? What's got into you, Des? How's Valkyrie doing, mate? So lovely pictures in Discord, fella. Lovely pictures in Discord. I've never been actually Dragonist. Never been to anything like that. Is it quite draining? Is it? Where is it this year? Or is it always in the same place? I've got no idea, mate. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see that one, ING. I've always said this again, a classic case of sort of like be very careful what we wish for as a community. I mean, bandits, what does it mean? How are they going to be implemented? You know, there are so many ways that could really go belly up really quickly. A lot of this game is head down, playing about in boxes, and just general shenanigans, isn't it? And you know, if I'm sitting here and there's a little gang of roaming bandits just over there that have got guns and I don't know about it, you're gonna get pissed, aren't you? You're gonna get proper pissed. I should imagine the bandits would be very much isolated to certain areas, and I should imagine that will make it a lot easier to code. Even so, that, I mean, who knows? Maybe that they will be limited specifically to quest POIs, and then they only spawn in when you click that big yellow exclamation mark. I would not like the idea of someone with an AK-47 over there, even if I was tooled up, you know. I'm not saying it couldn't work. I just think that's a lot to expect in a voxel-based game. There are so many parameters that you know you just can't take into account. I mean, I'd love to see human elements, but I think it would need to be compartmentalized rather than just out in the open world. Who knows? Who knows what it will mean? Let's see how we get on with the demolition zombie first. Yeah, but if they're going to be melee, then this is my argument, Smelly. If they're going to be melee, all you've created is a fast-moving zombie, which we've already got. So what's the point? That's my whole argument. That you know we've already got bandits that they could reskin a zombie, and you've got a bandit. In which case, what was the point in the first place? You know, you've just got a dude with a stick instead of a hand. It really isn't going to make or break the game, is it? So San Diego this year and maybe next. It's been mobile the last few years. Really? San Diego. Is San Diego the place with like SeaWorld and all those wonderful attractions? Is it? I'm sure that's San Diego, right? Or am I thinking of somewhere else? San Diego Zoo, right? How deep are we, Shades? 28. This is I'm not sure whether we want to go all the way to Bedrock because we'll never get the cars down here, will we? I don't think we can go to Bedrock, mate. But Bedrock's going to be way too deep. I think we go deep enough just so they can't hear us. So, what should we just say 25 or something? I don't fancy excavating. I mean, I don't mind excavating the rooms down below. That'll make no difference. But if we're going to make a ramp for 4x4 Jeeps to travel down. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it was solid iron, wasn't it? In fact, there's still some left, mate. Yeah. I bet your stamina's wrecked in it. Without an iron sword. Oh, actually, thinking about it. I've dinged level 10, mate. Oh, I've dinged level 10. Let me focus on that. Hammer and forge. Buy that. So let's go and see what we need to get these iron tools out. And then we can both crack on down there, can't we? Let's have a ganders. Forge. Stone and saw, not a problem. Short iron pipes, hopefully not a problem. It was the bellows that requires nails. Now, I've got some nails back at that camp that we went to. We need 20 leather, 2 pipe, 5 duct tape. Pipes, duct tape. Leather. Scrap that, scrap that. Pipes. What else is it we wanted? The nails. Nails. Yeah, there you go. Lovely jubbly, mate. Ooh, we'll have a full. So, I suppose even more reason to consider. Yeah, we're gonna have to reach a point where, because we're gonna want the forges downstairs, aren't we? I mean, we could put a temporary one up. So we'll just be careful not to go too crazy with it. Let me just cancel that. What depth do you think, Shades? And what are we on at the surface? We're at 50 on the surface. So if we were to go down to, say, layer 25, that gives us, 25, 26 layer buffer, doesn't it? Do you reckon that'll be deep enough? We can always go down deeper after. I mean, there's nothing to stop us going to Bedrock afterwards. It's just I don't fancy making a ramp that goes like 50 blocks down. It just seems a long way to travel, doesn't it? You think we should go to Bedrock? You would like to go to Bedrock? Really? All right, let's do it then, mate. Let's do it. Shades has made the call. You crazy bugger. The furthest city in... What's that? CA, California, right? Is that an axe? Yeah, because we can't make a... Well, in that case, I'll tell you what then. Let me go and put a forge up top. We'll pop one... Shall I put it in your little crafting bay here? That'll be all right, won't it? Let's do it. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, sugar. Valkyrie's good grump. I discovered that she likes to take things and hide them, and when I go to sleep, she chews them with impunity. This morning, I discovered a chewed roll of electrical. Where do you live? Do you live in like an electrical superstore? I mean, who has rolls of electrical tape lying around? What sort of place do you live in, bro? Duct tape, nails. We need to go and get... What else do we need? Surely we've got... We must have the clay soil, right? She's turning to be quite the expensive little peach, isn't she, sir? I mean, a roll of duct tape isn't too bad. What was it she ate? The electronic goodness recently. What did she maul? I'm after clay. Where is it? Clay soil in there. Oh, we got all sorts of crap lying around out here, haven't we? Clay soil, right? Forge, craft. There you go. You have a roll of all kinds of tape. What, what just lying around? I mean, I've got all this sort of stuff, but it's out in the garage, you know. I can't imagine the dog's ever been able to actually get to it. I'm not talking about who's got a roll of electrical tape. Who leaves it lying around where a dog can get hold of it? I think you miss the point quite often, really, don't you, Smirnoff? And yeah, I can literally see all the people in chat now just completely missing the point. You know, dogs aren't known to open garage doors and rummage around in toolboxes and cupboards, or nip out, you know, get the keys out, go down the garden and get in the shed and get the old electrical tape out, or nip out onto the front, you know, get into the Sparky's van. So I really fancy playing with some electrical tape today. Yeah, it's not the kind of thing that I just have lying around normally, mate. She ate your Bluetooth. Oh, that was it. Yeah, it was an expensive one as well, wasn't it, mate? I reckon poor Des has just let on to a little bit of a kinky fetish, mate. I reckon the electrical duct tape was in the bedroom. And that's how Desi's Valkyrie got her hands on it. Oh, what? Miss Group, when I go to sleep, the dog humps the cushions in the front room. Oh, mate. Ah, god damn. See, when I come to visit, I ain't sitting on your couch. I'll bring my own pillow and I'll attach it to my buttocks with some electrical duct tape that I'll find lying around on the floor. God, I see what you're saying, Shades. This is insane, mate. That is crazy, the amount of time it takes to get this. Oh, the forge is ready. Let me go and get that fired up. I'm just gonna have to pop a ladder where you are, I think. We have entered or are about to enter the Iron Age. All being well. Right, I think we'll just pop it here. Can you... Actually, that's a really good point. Can you wrench out one of these? Is it possible to wrench out forges? If you put a land climb block down. I mean, obviously I know we'll lose whatever's been smelted in there. But I can't remember if you can pick these bad boys and girls up. Not that it matters. By the time we have to move it, I'm sure it won't be a huge issue. Let's just burn that for, say, 20 minutes. Let's go and see what we've got in the boxes outside. I really feel like we should get these boxes under cover before Horde Night. I mean, it's very unlikely they'll get attacked, but it would be horrendous to lose them, wouldn't it? It's got to be more... Oh, I haven't done my bedroll either. There's no iron in that one. And there's no iron in that one. And there's no iron in that one. I must be missing. There's got to be iron in one of these guys. Ah, there it is. I was going to say, there's no way. You can move it with the... So you can. So you can pick it up. Just pick it up with your hand as long as there's a land climb. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, looking good. I don't know whether to just make ourselves like just a temporary, very small little crafting area back here. I think that might not be a bad idea. Just hollow this room out just a little bit, and then we can put a few chests down, and then I don't have to keep leaving it outside, do I? And then we can. By the time we get down to the bottom, we'll be able to have a proper room full of storage. It is a winding road, Grub. Right, okay. When I was troubleshooting my HDD issue, I left my closet door open. Oh, yeah, because you had an epic HD failure with Borderlands, didn't you, mate? Was that you? Was that you? That has your computer parts bin and your electrician's toolkit. Because I am an electrician. Makes sense. Toolkit sits on the floor and she snagged one of the rolls of the kit and hid it under my bed in her lair. Oh, wow. So she's actually nicking things and going and hiding it. That's so cool, mate. and then devouring it of an evening while you are deep in slumber. Yeah, I agree, Des. In fact, if you ever want more info on that, ask Zoranthian. I believe he's a master of the duct tape. No, we don't want to put sandstone brass in the forge, Santa. No, this is a temporary forge. That's the last thing I want to do. This is just to get a little bit of beginning iron while we get the iron pickaxes up and running before we head down to bedrock. In fact, I don't want this thing running at all if we can help it. Really, I don't want to add to the heat map while we're busy doing stuff. We've already got enough torches lighting the bloody place up like a Christmas tree. What's a struggle rug, McGlashan? Never heard about that. A struggle rug. Is that something for a dog, or is that like some kinky sex aid? Thank you very much for the 20, DeKeith. Thank you. Thank you very much, my friend. Yeah, you should. I mean, I've got a fair few skill points to spend as well. I'm just not sure where I'm going to go with those. I'm doing quite a lot of scavenging at the minute, so some extra backpack space wouldn't go amiss, would it? Yeah, you've ordered it, haven't you, Des? I'm sure I remember reading that. One of the last comments I saw on Discord, mate. That's bloody annoying, that, isn't it, dude? Do you think you've lost much information, or was it primarily a gaming sort of drive? It's a sex aid, a struggle rug. Never heard of it. Jesus Christ, you lot don't half know some weird stuff, don't you? Struggle rugs. I don't think I even want to know what that is, to be honest with you, mate. We'll put that one down to yeah, whatever. You bet you like that bloke from freaking Wolf Creek, ain't you, fella? Jesus. Actually, while I think about it, we've got 7 points left. I think we'll go back. I mean, I'd like to go back and make this like a proper little room, because it could look quite cool, but I feel how long is it going to take to get... Oh, hang on.